na enra mo ni yewura ba omia ekwa aprobo no de mo ni ko hunu ye na wono so na enema tene sei
o enra Dr. Bomia na no ra ko pa report be ko na se go dead body na look for not before nya me fa na e ara ko so the ko be bi na oba ba ko aka be di si no awo ni me na wa so bu a o de se be na because it is still be blue in a area. That's my Dr. Baumia has that flat would be a back. Now, that's just a matter of politics. Meaning, we'll find it to be. Maybe a politician will see the care you for. No big job, and so by my maybe a buyer of flood in the bedroom near Canada. And so the appointment. Oh, flooding in that way, but we're politics. We don't happen.
Tibira, Mamma was a panama saying and Panso and Fama. Yes, that's a pa. Honorable Bantuma Asenso Wachi. Now, or a former minister for Western House, former MP Bantuma, former. MP for Bantuma, former deputy.
Your favorite radio station on digital online. The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station on digital online.
Charity AJ was a mirror and pay me down. And here, Queen Charity of Northampton, Pentecost in nearby Pentecost and pay Charity HHL. In the meantime, in between time, we're going to acknowledge our proud sponsors and we're moving on quickly to bring you other subsequent matters this morning. Now, all stands. In the name of flooding in Ghana, it has become a bone of contention, an issue that is really mind-boggling. We need to tackle the issue because anytime soon, there's going to be another downpour, and that will bring something, some kind of fears in the system because among people have gone through a trauma, and this trauma, a serious trauma. Now we need to find a lasting solution, not even to curb it all, but at the same time, never senior flooding no ababe the annual ritual in Ghana. And so beto you just you get some few release. Now when you relieve new paper now in so esa beto and no any yem shishie eba. 38 minutes past 8 o'clock this morning. The name is Charity AJ, all the way in Northampton this morning, listening to us live on YouTube, Facebook, and also TikTok. Those watching us live on TikTok this morning, we share all the good news for you this morning. But it was bad, and during the course of the week, there has been the bad news, and we think it is something we all need to think twice. Now, you share kwanye be faswa. Mine you be to me akra. Na enkoye say we are only doing partisan politics, but we need to take a critical look at how best we can manage the country and the resources, because it's very important when you want to come and amass wealth. At the same time, ubenya bibia na weja hwako inti emfashimba, but let's put some precedents in place in making sure you be to me actually mind, because above for my money. That is why when we come here, we feel comfortable in living the system. Even sometimes we find it very difficult to be confided with the system, but we still want to live in the system because we have something that is one cardinal principles. Make it say, I want to live in this country for the rest of my life, or I want to live in this country, because everything that you want to get, provided you have something doing, you can just be doing your up and downs near there. You'll be doing your ends meet near there. But when we live in a country where there are problems that we need to tackle, now it is taking us ages to make sure we will meet that threshold. I think that is where we fall short. There are deficiencies that is creating all the vacuum for us. Until we make sure, say, when we want to speak and we are saying something, people should understand. It's not that we're trying to be mischief in certain areas, or somebody is doing something, we just want to be critics about it. We just want the country to move on and make sure that, because definitely natural disasters will come. Even in America, we experience all these things. But when we put measures in place, it will reduce the disaster. I think that is the main cardinal principles we need to take a critical look about it. And na edi sang komono in the near future, because it's something that we need to watch and have a critical look about it. Na pay Pinnacle Amofaba Education. Minka will say Pinnacle Dijumedi Sunkubi Eba. Na PA training, any the comic associate is giving you some kind of intellectual property. In his own imobino a banker, maybe Ghana, digital marketing executive B, students, SME owners, public service professionals, the media, oil and gas staff, and as a businessman beer. Now you want to be part of this program. Program number so 10th to 14th of August 2026. So in about a month and a half, like I said, the program will kick start. But it's going to be an important program. You will attain and achieve your aims and objective. It's very important. Program number for Hilton Hotel, Croydon 101 Wading Way, CR9 4 Hotel, London, Croydon, United Kingdom, on the 10th and on the 14th, on the 10th to on the 14th of August 2026. Now, utria bibia sisi kana obetria no akohoma and awobo into bar. There's accommodation, breakfast, workshop materials, and a tour the city of London. And it's very, very important. You're just going to acquire knowledge about artificial intelligence. That is the leading transformation from Pinnacle Amofaba Education. And watch out for September. Pinnacle will start enrollment. And to those of you who are calling, say you want to be part and have some degree, local few, Bombodian for Pinnacle. So now September, register. Now start to share there. You can do some little courses. Maybe it will take you some few months for you to complete your courses. You have some certificate to make sure and know your intellectual property. I always say this. It is very important because education has no end. And the Pinnacle is urging all of us to make sure, say, September enrollment in Bebaso. For +44 794 715 2878. +44 794 7152878. And we are Pinnacle Amofaba Education. Your education is your pinnacle. In the moving on quickly, na yanko yinimni anto agbe de nso pay. The Winneba Apam Road flooding commuters attribute to the flooding say it was quite disturbing. You share Winneba quite now. Let's listen to this gentleman here.
It's really causing this flood we are seeing on the Cape Coast Road. Okay.
The flood. What is causing the flooding is because they've done what they call washing base just down there. The company has created a washing base just behind their what they call. They were using the normal what they call river. Later they've closed it because the water was not flowing. So they've closed so the water cannot have easy passage through behind the what they call.
So the waterway has been blocked.
Blocked. Go and check. Do a thorough check in there. You see what has happened.
What company is that? Is it a Chinese company?
All members of.
What?
It's a Chinese company. I don't know the name, but they are in what they call egg. What they call
shells.
Creating crates and other things.
Okay.
Paperwork. They are into paperworking. So I don't know what exactly what they do.
Is this the first time you are experiencing something?
Since 48 years, I started driving. I started driving 42 years ago.
The news, the interviews, and what have you, all packed and ready to go on your favorite radio station, Hot Digital Online.
How come that they what they call opened it and now it has started flooding? Why they've done nothing down up there? So they should check. They should check right behind this house.
So you believe that this structure we see in our picture
it's on the waterway.
It's on the waterway. As you can see, it's there.
Yeah, it's on the waterway.
Okay, all right.
The salaries have not come, and they've not told us when it will come, because they are telling us due to challenges that they are facing. My deep throat research shows that since March, the government has not released any subvention to the university to pay our salaries. So the university has been paying our salaries through what's called internal generated funds. The internal generated funds have, I can say, run dry, and so we have done this. So I'm just appealing. You imagine you are a lecturer, and imagine your house was flooded. Imagine everything is destroyed, and you were waiting for your salary to be able to do the cleaning and these things, and this has not come. That's double jeopardy. So the next time somebody is shouting that, oh, we've managed the economy well, inflation is down, GDP is up, CDR peaking, and all these things. Remind the person that the government is so broke that they cannot pay university lecturers for their monthly to work. Genuine, no, I'm being honest here. It affects me.
July.
So I am sitting here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I am making a point.
The 28th
Madam,
and the 30th.
I am a university. I don't know when you. I don't.
Don't worry.
I don't know when you receive your salary. I don't know when you receive your salary. I'm making a point. I want to contextualize it. Let me contextualize it. I don't know when you receive your salary.
You've made your point.
We receive our salaries.
Thank you.
We receive our salaries before.
We understand.
We are not being paid.
We understand.
And I'm saying that.
Allow, the government has heard your cry. Gentlemen, please. Today I'm coughing, so don't let me talk too much. Please be.
So all of you lecturers, and I pray
he's talking about salary. He's made his point. Don't worry, he's made his point.
Yes.
I'm saying government has heard. So I'm sure they will address it.
And I pray that by the end of today or tomorrow, we should be paid.
But today is the 1st of July.
I'm telling you, there's
Let's
context.
get into
You know why I'm saying that?
Let's
I
get
have
into
been
it.
on the set with him.
Yes.
That he did the same thing.
Yes.
By the time he left the studio, the money was in his account.
But
That he had not checked. That he had not checked.
That's a lie.
That he had not checked his account.
You are lying. You've lied.
Let's get into
Did you see my account? Did you see my account? You are still not lying for them. I am telling you that we've
all
not
our
been paid.
time is going,
Call
gentlemen.
our UTAC president and ask
That's not
him.
what we're
When
discussing
people
this
are
morning.
owing people and they don't want them,
Call
they
UTAC
don't want
president and will pay.
they said their salaries are not coming.
All right.
So that they will not get cases for that. That's what he's doing here.
Can I
Please.
use this occasion to wish all Ghanaians a happy Republic Day?
Yes.
Today
And
is
I
the
pray that
first-
the government pays us
first
our
of July.
salaries so that we too can celebrate the
I'm on the
Republic.
All
floor.
right,
I'm
thank
on the
you.
floor.
Let's get into
We
our
wish all
conversation
Ghanaians
now.
a happy
You let the people work for one
Conversation.
month, you don't pay us. I'm talking, you're saying what?
I'll start off with you. The minority says that the anti-flood task force, according to them, needs to be probed because clearly, if they had done their work, we won't see the level of devastation that we saw on Monday. What do you say?
So this morning I will discuss this topic, not taking into consideration what has been uttered by the minority, because if we are going to go by there. You will flare. You will not have the decency to have any decent discussions this morning.
Why?
Because they don't have that modicum to be discussing this subject matter. If we are to play by or recount their own actions and inactions in the last 8 years, is the reason why we are where we are today. Remember when we were told by a consultant who took President Akufo-Addo together with the sanitation and then works and housing minister to the Odo, put a blackboard there, A is B, B is A, we are going to have fishes here, cockroaches here, hotels here, and the president was just nodding his head. Do we have it? Nothing happened. So the same people cannot be turning around, just like they have been doing in the past. Anything that they say, it provokes and angers people. And that is why I do not want to discuss the subject matter of flooding this morning, taking into consideration what they have said. It is nothing. I have assumed that nothing has been said so that I can discuss it properly. You see, flooding, no matter what we do, will happen. It's a natural occurrence. It's the reason why, as a country, you try as much as possible to minimize the impact or the effects of it when it happens. And that is why you try and solve the pertinent issues, that is engineering. In 1953, when you remember in the Netherlands, they live mostly below the sea levels. So in 1953, during winter, there was a storm tide that breached their dike. You know, they prepare what we call dike, building blocks on the sea to be able to draw the water out or reclaim the land and then put buildings on it. But in winter, the integrity of those dikes were compromised. It broke, and then it was flooding all over. What happened? 1,800 people died. They did not weep. They did not wallow. What they did was that they realized that there was something wrong with the engineering that they used. So they went back, took a critical look at the dikes, and realized that they needed to reinforce them to make them strong and also up the height. Since then, the Netherlands have not faced 1,800 deaths. That is why some of this is when they happen. You don't play politics with it. You make sure that what has happened has happened. By subsequent years, you improve upon it. Because whether we like it or not, it will definitely happen. Now, I say I don't take them serious because, you see, Accra has a plan. What has rather worked against us is that we failed as a country to follow through the plans that were provided to us by Professor Maxwell Fry and Gendru, as well as Professor Hubert Hook. We had it in 1963. By 1966, Nkrumah was out of power. So successive governments decided not to follow through. Accra is the only place you hear South Industrial Area, North Industrial. Why do you think we have South Industrial Area, North Industrial Area? It is to tell you that those places are meant for industries. I go there today and see what is happening there. Industrial areas have turned into churches. People are doing anything, anyhow, containers are everywhere. You understand? We have residential neighborhoods. Because Gordonsberg, that demarcated most of the areas, himself was a surveyor. So he knew all the areas that were suitable for residential accommodation and industrial purposes. Again, as a country, we have been able to identify where all the Ramsar sites are. It's a law. If you look at our wetland laws, we have about 6 places that falls under the Ramsar site. We will go to Awutu Senya area. We have one there, the Densu area. We have one there, the Sakumo. We have the Owabi, the Kita Lagoon, and so on and so forth. So we know it. And it's not as though we just said Ramsar sites. We have coordinates. So that when you went to the Densu area, it will show you that between longitude this and latitude this falls within the Densu. So all that the assembly there is to do is to take the longitudes, the coordinates, and then superimpose it on the land there to know all those areas that fall within the Ramsar site. If buildings are in there, you go and clear them. It's as simple as that. Then we invest heavily in what we call engineering, modern day engineering. A lot of the areas spring up without storm drains. So when it's raining, then the water is unable to have a place to pass to get into the sea. Because we are told that recent rains, the measurement was about 140 millimeters. You understand? But a couple of days ago, if you went to Kentucky, Kentucky experienced about 6 inches, so it's about 152 millimeters. Now, between 140 to 152, which one is more? Kentucky's own was more, but there, about only 4 people died, contrary to ours, which was about 12. It means disaster could have been higher than ours. But why are they having lower catastrophes? Because they have been planning there. All the engineering works are there. That does not suggest that we will still not have it. So going forward, we need to go back to the drawing board and then make sure that we invest heavily in engineering. Investing heavily in engineering must also go with enforcement of the law and discipline and corruption. How come that the World Bank claims it has invested into a simple matter of dredging of Odo? I have told you that the Odo, now, if you were wild and gave the young boys around the circle area every 5 million Ghana, they would do that job. How come? On their own, they will do it with this.
It's very deep. You
need
machines to be able
to engage them as Odo. But they are the ones littering the place. Put them to work, and you see that the whole place will be clean. You understand? We have expended all this money, yet there is nothing concrete that you can lay claim to. So why wouldn't you suffer? Now, if we were to look at the side-by-side of the Odo, the catchment area, what sort of properties are there? Are they not kiosks and so on? Yeah. What is so difficult in relocating those people? Meanwhile, we took money with a view of relocating all these people. What has happened to that? Now, my brother, that's why I warned my brother that he must not even go there. We were in the country that we were told by Senso Boachi that they were going to have a system that we paid for it all. A system where when there is about to rain, it can tell you, Bella, that the area that you are is likely to flood, so be on the alert. Yesterday also, did you receive any alert? No. But we have been told by this, that this is the government that my brother wants to come and preach to me, that they did so well. So this morning, he cannot come here and do politics. It will not go well for him.
Is that what they are doing if they are calling for the anti-flood task force to be probed? Is that what they're doing?
Well, what are you probing them for? You see, the whole business of setting up committees does not do anything for this country. The parliamentarians that were talking, well, you know, in this country, when they set up committee to probe into why they destroyed tables and chairs in parliament. Have you read the report? Why do we like this business of, no, where we have gotten to, they must not chip in politics. Because the citizens, if we have listened to those that have been affected by the flooding, now they are beginning to have impatience for politicians. Because they see that always you play with their minds. People are suffering to go and form a committee to probe somebody.
To probe the task force. I mean, there was a job that was given to the task force. They were supposed to assess the situation and present a report to the president so that we know what to do moving forward to avoid floods.
You see, those task force, when they formed, I said it. Now, look, this problem is a pure engineering problem, together with corruption and indiscipline. Now, you cannot use social scientists to go and solve engineering problem. And the same way I saw my brother and his flag bearer yesterday working on the rain, said they were going to assess. Social scientists, you are going to assess the impact of flooding. What knowledge? What are you going to write? This is a pure engineering problem, for Christ's sake. So we have the Ghana Institute of Engineers, we have the assemblies that must have engineers. They must be the ones, the Ministry of Works and Housing, they have the technocrats, they must be the ones that we must be asking.
Not the NADMO, board, for example. So let me give you the list of the members.
Yes.
We have the Minister of Water Resources,
yes.
Works and Housing.
Yes.
He's in. The Minister of Local Government is in there. We also have the National Security Coordinator, because it's a security matter.
Yes.
Right? So we have National Security Coordinator. Deputy Director General of NADMO is on there. And the Legal Counsel to the President, Madam Marietta Brew. She's on there as well.
You see, when we give titles, National Security Coordinator, what role does he have with engineering? National Security. So the National Security is so wild. Get the engineers to go and work. You see, when you go to a place like the United States, they have what we call FEMA. Federal Emergency Management Agency. It's pure technocrats. Our NADMO. You see, we don't do audit of these institutions. Go to NADMO. From the days of these people, who are those that are put there to man the NADMO? Every district or municipality or metropolitan, you go there, they say, oh, the organizer of a political party is the NADMO coordinator over there. You ask yourself what sort of experience that person has. So the over-politicization of very critical institutions, because whether we like it or not, we cannot take out natural occurrence. This flooding, can you control God? You know the mind of God. He will rain. But when it rains, is the reason why we know there will be a disaster. So we ourselves have put in place an organization that will be able to deal with it. And so that organization must be made up of professionals.
Okay.
Professionals that have the technical know-how. I saw what's the constituency of Ezerato, Kotikloli.
Yeah.
When the issue came, not more people were there. But it took the fishermen from the seashore to go and swim to get the people. Are they members of NADMO? The NADMO members were there, but they did not have that technical competence to be able to move to where exactly the action spot is. So this must rather, going forward, it's a lesson that you must learn that we need more of these technical guys. That fisherman that was able to dive, what prevents us from engaging them into the NADMO? You drop them, you give them morning day training. Now we saw the fire service. Their vehicles were unable to penetrate into the rain. It must also guide you so that a year by this time, we will not have a situation where the fire service will go there and say their cars cannot move through it. We go and procure, because we don't need any special grace to go into the open market and procure vehicles that are able to penetrate. Remember, Ghana does not lie in a very heavy or high rainfall zone.
Yes.
You understand? Those in the monsoon areas, it's terrible, but they're able to survive it. So why are we not surviving?
So then is it not right for the minority to be calling for a probe into the activities?
It is not a right
as
thing.
As far as you are concerned,
yes,
the task force is even made up of the wrong people. Because Deputy Chief of Staff Standogbe is in there, so he's the chair of the committee. And you are saying that even the people who make up the task force, they are not the right people.
But did you need that committee? Let me tell you, I'm saying that already the country has Ministry of Works and Housing. We have the Environment, Science and Technology. We even have out to the point that we have climate minister. You know, we have a minister for climate in this country. We have the assemblies, local government already functioning. So they know their role that they are supposed to play. That container that was allowed to be placed on the waterway, why do we need a committee to clear it?
So we didn't need a task force?
Yeah, no, we didn't need it.
All right. Let me bring Alfred in. What's your concern with the task force specifically?
I'm just worried about the contradictions that some of our words, our speech, our actions and inactions portray us to be. Because when you tell me that you can't do anything about flooding, and down the line you tell me that it is a technical or whatever problem, then I ask you that, did you really listen to what you said from the beginning?
Yeah, not making any point.
You see, you tell me that why should the minority even talk about the committee that has been formed?
The task force.
The task force,
okay,
which is a committee. You criticize the minority for even asking questions or probing into what work they have really done. You come without knowing the background of any of those in the task force, run them down. And then when you finish, you tell me that, oh, the fishermen who haven't got any competence in NADMO should be given the chance to go and work at NADMO because they could swim through the water and go and save people.
He said give them further training.
He was not even
to work in NADMO.
What is NADMO?
To work in NADMO. Why is NADMO only about flood disaster? Is it about only flood disaster?
But it's a disaster
when there is fire, then we go and look for those who can walk through the fire and give them further training for them to go and walk through the fire and save people. I mean, come on, let's be serious. Let me come back to the topic.
Goodness.
Yes, it will be your
Alfred,
goodness.
what's wrong
My
if...
goodness.
Because we're clearly seeing these young men who by themselves are
Bella,
even
you are not
complaining.
getting-
I
you're not
understand
getting
you,
what
but
I
they're
mean.
already
So if you
complaining they're
understand me, let me
jobless.
go on.
No, hold on. I just want you to, you know, expatiate on this properly. So there are
Which
young
one, the
men...
fishermen?
Well, there are young men who have
fishermen who
jumped
should be
into
given further
flood
training.
waters to save people at a time when they were saying that even the authorities who were supposed to do the work couldn't come on time. And if they had not stepped in, these people would have been washed away.
Yes, which I agree
And
with
so
them
if
that
Solomon
they've
is
done
saying that for
They
such
have done well.
people, maybe they should be given further training.
He said the fishermen.
He says
That's the
give them
word he
further
used.
training.
He said fishermen.
He wasn't listening, so
And
you
that
can
is
let
why
him go on.
I have an issue with him. And that wasn't the only thing. When I talk about the committees and things he's talking about, you sit down and you can laugh about it, but you know, the public will judge. They are the best judge. Let me come back to the topic. You see, oh yes, I don't want to use Sole. I just want him to see that he should. No, I haven't started. He said we shouldn't do politics with it. I'll read a piece here. John Mahama made a claim on September 2nd, 2024, whilst on a tour in Kintampo North, Bono East region. he told the crowd that Nanado's bad governance was to blame for the drought and the disrupted rainfall. That is not politics. Solo did not say anything about it, but he sees everything wrong when you form a committee and we talk about it. That give us the report of a committee 1 year, 3 months down the line. That when they were going round, what did they envisage? What did they see? What was their report about? What did they tell us to do to prevent these occurrences?
Before you carry on, I'm trying to connect your earlier submission about
He said
the
we
president
shouldn't do politics
blaming
about the whole thing. But I'm giving him an example where a candidate went out and said that the rains were not coming because of someone's bad governance.
Yeah, like you're
that
not
one
going
is
to
not politics.
politics.
Hold on.
That one is not politics.
And drought.
Yes, and drought. That one is not politics.
Okay.
But when rain falls and people are complaining about it and asking for reports about committee that they use the government taxpayers' money to pay them and form, he says, hey, that's why we shouldn't do politics with it. You see, the double standards and the double ideology people in this country, I wonder. I seriously wonder. Now, I'll tell you something. When we were in power, maybe he didn't do his homework well. Ato Forsen, in his budget of 2025, page 99, let me read what he said. Government pursue drainage improvement works under the 2020, 2023, and 2024 National Flood Control Program to mitigate the disaster risk associated with flooding in various parts of the country, while minimizing the economic losses that are associated with the floods. These works resulted in the construction of 46.97 kilometers of drainage, as well as the stilton and excavation of more than 1,000 kilometers of earth drains. The ministry will continue with the implementation of the program, as well as dredge the white water in preparation for the spillage of the Battery Dam.
This is from where?
This is from Ato Forsen's 2025 budget report, and it's on page 99.
And the meaning of this is?
And you can see it at 589
And what does it mean?
of that page. Item number 589. It tells you that the previous government started something. They started working. You sit down and you condemn them, and when those people came, what did they do, and blah, blah, blah. We started putting measures in place to make sure that some of these disasters can be mitigated. You are saying that, oh, floods, you can't do anything about it. You can do something about floods. It's the rains that you cannot do anything about, but you can do something about floods if you put measures in place to make sure that it will check them. Yesterday, when your station was playing, one of the guys who was, in fact, this morning, I was listening to him, said, listen, all these drainages that they were doing here, that they started and has not been continued, are spots now. And they'll have to start all over again because they are broken. The amount of water that was going on or passing through that place destroyed most of their bridges, their drainages, and everything. It's because there was no continuum. You can go and check. The garage money is there. Some has been spent doing all these drainages.
40% of it spent?
About 30-something, almost 40, yes. And there is still over 60% there that should finish their work. We have up to end of next year to finish this work.
So that 40% that was spent, can you break down exactly what it was able to do for us?
I've given you some of the things that the minister... Please, you are not on floor. I've given you some of the things that the minister himself said that was done.
So that's what the 40% was spent on?
It's not all.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you. If you have further details...
Later on, I'll give you the further details. I have further details there that I can give to you. I can give you some of the things that were done. Some of the storm drainages, some of the drainages, some of the excavations that were done, the dredging of the lagoons and everything. We prepare ahead of time.
Yeah, but if you had those details, it would help us to further understand.
Yes, and I said I can get it for you.
Okay.
If I stop now to do that, unless you want to go and come back to me. Because I haven't finished my submission.
Okay.
Yes, I need to get it for my
for them to send it.
Okay.
I don't need to wait for someone. I have it on my phone, but I have to go through.
No worries, you make your point.
Thank you very much. So, Bella, all these things that you are talking about, we formed a committee, I think 3 months when we came into power. What were they supposed to do? They should go across the country, assess places that have the, what do you call it, of flooding, the likelihood of flooding and everything. See what measures you can put in place to make sure that it doesn't happen. The moment they finished, at that time they had dissolved the sanitation ministry, and I don't know where the people who were working there, whether they were sent to the works ministry or they were sent to the local government. However, after they did this thing, then they dissolved they continued working with the Zoom Lion, which was looking at making sure that they sweep the streets, they clear the drainages, they clear the gutters and all those things. They gave the work back to the assembly people to do. Fair enough. When you go around, I don't seriously see the assembly people working on most of these, this thing, cleaning up the drainages and all these things. The track alone, one track alone, the refuse collection track, that Zoom Lion uses, is about 120,000 euros. I don't think any assembly can quickly afford that. So when you are putting some of these measures in place, you make sure that once you are cancelling such a contract, you have other alternatives that can quickly do the work for you. You don't leave a gap that will create our gutters to be choked, because you said the same discipline. In fact, when you went to London and you met the people there, the thing is that it's not about technical know-how or anything. It's a pure indiscipline problem, which I agree to some extent. And I say to some extent because it's not only indiscipline by, the citizens, but indiscipline too by government. Because if all this cleaning, drainages and everything, we don't do it ahead of time, before June, where we know that May, June, the rains are starting, then we are indisciplined ourselves to do the right thing before time. Secondly, after this disaster, we realized that the president flew again in a chopper, like Stan Globe did, landed and said that, oh, it's not indiscipline, but it's a technical thing. We have to get all our people on board and everything to come and do the necessary.
He rather said it's an attitudinal problem. Is that not what he said?
The key thing he used, the key word he used, you can play it, is that they need the technical people to come and work on the various jobs that needs to be done for these things, these drainages to be okay, to be functional. He said that. Check it and see. That was the key word he used. And that is what I took for. So it tells you that there is a give and take here. You have been put in place to make sure that these disasters don't happen. You work ahead of time. If your DCs, MMDCs are not working, take them out. Get new people who are ready to work. Because we are not ready to have disasters, then we'll come and say sorry to the people. We are not ready.
Alfred, but do you believe that if, with all the money that your government received, if you had really done the work you were supposed to do,
if you receive money, doesn't mean that
months,
within a short time you should just be spending the money. It takes steps to do that, because you are using it for a work. The person has started a drain. After that, you come and reclaim before he continues. You can't just disperse all the money to him. And if the person goes to use the money, what do you do?
For example, wait. For example, Garrett, when did Garrett start? When did we even receive that money? Yeah. Garrett was supposed to start what, in 2019, thereabout. That was when the money was to be released.
I read one or two
Between 2019 and this period, we're told that we spent about 40% of that 350 million that we received from World Bank.
First it was 200, and later
and then they added 150 million.
They added the 140 million
because
of what they had seen us doing ahead of time.
I understand, but I'm saying that
because if you are not working and you go and apply for another 150 million, don't give you.
So if we spent about 40% of that money dredging the door as we should have, etc., we're told that once that door is dredged, flooding will be reduced to its barest minimum.
Yes, barest minimum.
Exactly. So if we're done that, 15 months into this government, don't you think that the effects that we're seeing now would have been much less?
So if you do something, if you are doing dredging and you stop, and then the refuse is being gathered over there again, do you think it will stop? And that is why I used a parameter of the Zoom Lion equation, where the contract has been taken from him. You don't have the people going down there to do the work they have to do. And then the rubbish is gathering in various drainages. How do you expect the work to go on? Because they will tell you that, oh, this government has spent so much and they haven't done anything, they have taken their money. In fact, sometimes you even hear people silly saying that, oh, if you want to find where the money is, go under Cecilia Dapa's bed. And I ask myself, are you serious? If 1 year, 6 months down the line, you claim that someone has taken the money and has not used it for the work, and you cannot do anything to that person who has taken the money, then you are a failure as a government yourself.
Let me bring
So
Elikem
if
in.
they are not going to continue the work that you started, and the drainages are getting choked, you can't blame it on MPP. Period.
Okay. Elikem, tell us about this task force and work that has been done. We were expecting that a report will be presented to the president so we know exactly what the problem is on the ground. Has that been done?
Thank you so much, Bella, and good morning once again. And sincerely, to all those who have been victims that have been affected by these floods, sincere commiserations to those who have as well lost relations, etc. Floods are a natural occurrence. However, human behavior may exacerbate or otherwise the impact of floods. And the fact that it will rain means that there can be floods, but how well we prepare for it is what will result into this. I have listened to my brother, but maybe at the right time I would try to make some corrections on that. Okay. With reference to a task force has been set up to look at the flood-prone areas in particularly the capital, where it's been very pervasive when rains set in. And a task force being set up does not mean that they are being paid to do their job, or it's not every task force that you think that is being paid with the taxpayers' money. They may discharge their duties diligently without even requesting a penny for their job. Now, what I expect the minority to do is not to be asking for a probe, but to consistently ask or persistently request for a report or an update. And I think the minority has even probably the powers, if I'm not mistaken, to ask for them to come and give an update on what has been their work so far. But step aside for a probe as if there's been some criminality. And most importantly, when this takes this dimension, Ghanaians become very offended. Reason being that, as we see, you could tell at what point Alfred becomes a stammerer and at what point he's fluent in what submissions he wants to make. Because you were asking questions about over 350 million that has been allocated to a government from 2019. He suddenly is saying that it takes time, so it has taken time from 2019 and all that. And this, at a point, even over 65 million was actually reallocated out of that money for COVID-19. We all know the brouhaha around COVID-19, the mess that happened, the World Bank report on how funds that were dispersed without proper accounting and all of that. Nobody should be happy over a matter of this nature. Look, I must tell you that I am not even happy as a person in government that these things are happening. Nobody should be. I mean, I was, however, happy again that the president immediately upon that decided to have a first-hand assessment by himself by flying over the capital to see the extent of damage.
Some people thought it was unnecessary because he already knows the extent of damage.
No,
I mean,
he could never have...
2015, he was faced with an even worse crisis. And of course, there was a whole, assessment.
Yes, but he could never have known the extent
country.
of damage if he was not flying over to have a bird's view of exactly how it was and the impact. You could only see snippets of that on television where people report and all of that. I think you will see some people climbing to higher ground, etc. But the fact remains that there are a lot of actions, mostly even by humans, that have resulted in this. The indiscipline is number one. Look, I have been very harsh, many have known me to be, and I'm unapologetic for that, because I believe what needs to be done must be done and done right. If you are building in a waterway or you are built in a waterway, if you are choking a gutter and you are found out, you should be dealt with according to law. If not, because you see, it's just like how we talk about Galamsey. If you do not deal with these people who are causing this harm, tomorrow they are killing people, and they are killing people on the hands of government. The person, we've seen some videos or footages of persons when immediately it starts raining, they throw garbage into the gutter and they do all manner of things. And people who are building waterways, Ramsar sites, they go and keep filling wetlands with refuse over time. Then somebody sell it to them. Then they build there. Then eventually they come up to want to sort out somebody, the assemblies and the engineers. Look, we don't only need redesigning or planning, but we need proper enforcement. Because these things get to me. Yesterday, I was watching a video of two young chaps, toddlers. I think one was probably 11 and the other maybe 7, who had also lost their lives. And these are innocent people who may not have been related in any way to any miscreant or any misconduct. But somebody has done something that has resulted into that. And I believe that the various task forces, not the task force that has been set up by the president, the various task forces within the municipalities, the districts and assemblies, they should get out there. Any building that has been put in a waterway or been improperly built should be pulled down. And it's just as simple as that. The people will again come and say you are insensitive, you are this and all that, but your action is costing the life of other people, and you must bear the brunt of your own action rather than transferring it to other people. And because we have gone past this stage of lamenting, etc. For instance, I'm even expecting that, well, by now, we should be able to ascertain how these $350 million was expended over this whole period, where we don't seem to have any idea of what has been done, and we can't see any single improvement. Constantly, look, I recall as far back as some time back, I had a Belgian friend who was one of those that was doing some work some time back in the dredging. He was amazed and surprised at what the demands were of the work he was doing that was impossible, and expectations rather of him. And so we need to really look into these matters seriously. If you take, for instance, even NADMO, we need to improve NADMO and not to reduce NADMO to only ride sharing, and it's like an after-incident service. We must equip them to have the necessary resources to be able to fight the disaster, to be able to even help prevent it, so that they can be able to report that, look, tomorrow it is going to rain, and these are the possible areas, and so move to higher grounds, etc. We can do all of this. We don't want to sit here and be saying, when the white man is doing it, we are all humans and are capable. It is the will that we need to have to do so. So I am calling on the minority to make themselves more relevant by rather asking for the report or asking for detail on what the task force has been. And it's not only about this task force. It is about the assemblies, etc., the engineers, etc., who have, I think about 2 months ago, we were on this platform to share similar incidents. The people who are giving out permits, who authorized a structure to be in a waterway?
But Solomon, all this, if we had gotten the report from this task force on time, don't you think that we would have had a better understanding of what the problem is?
That is why I'm saying that. So asking for a probe it is more or less like wanting to say, okay, we want to know how much every peso was spent. No, it is not about that. It is about the scope of work, rather.
But the probe is supposed to go into their operations.
You see, the task force was not set up to necessarily spend money into doing a project.
But operations, it is to
look at, for instance, it is to look at, for instance, which areas are the danger zones. What propositions would you recommend be done? Yeah. Which institution is supposed to take up that? Which actionable timelines do you attach to them? So you see, that is the reason why you rather need a report or an update from them than saying that you want a probe as though you feel that something untoward has rather been done that needs to be investigated.
It's been about 15 months, March 2025.
Yes.
Should we not have gotten this report much earlier,
before
getting into the rainy season, so that if we have to address the problem,
we should have.
Or tackle
and you see, Bella, we can always not rule out the heightened indiscipline by many of us ourselves. Let's assume that government is doing its own by desilting gutters and dredging and doing what have you, but on daily basis, people are still throwing refuse haphazardly around. So it means that, for instance, the town council system is something which we have all talked about and think that needs to be brought back in order to enforce properly. And this is even going to serve as a form of internally generated fund models for the assemblies.
So we know the problems already.
I believe we know the problems.
Did we need a task force to tell us again?
The task force is to reinforce an acceptance of what people have said, what the concerns are, who does what, when, where, and how. And so I believe that when that is done, it is able to it enables us to be able to assess well what needs to be done. And that is what it is the reason why I have problem with the minority rather asking for a probe. but should rather be asking, okay, a task force has been set up. What has been the outcome? We want to know what their recommendations have been to government so that, okay, even you have every right to ask, Mr. President, we want to know what has been the outcome of the task force because you have the deputy chief of staff there, you have this person there, you have that person there. Then we can move in. You know, it is the same thing that has raised concerns about, okay, Cecilia Dapa, these. We have been in this country and have heard so many things and seen so many things. I take consolation in knowing that the wheels of justice grind slowly. However, what needs to be done right must be done right once we pursue all others.
All right. Dr. Zato, come in. I saw that you were nodding to a lot of the things that...
I agree with some of the things.
Yeah, he was saying.
One of the things is that we needed a breakdown of what the man has done. There is one.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it. Okay. But I want to start with this. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama is one of the luckiest politicians and presidents in this country. He has accumulatively ruled this country now for 6 years. Now, a lot of people in life do not get a second chance. His Excellency President John Dramani has had a second chance. The June 2015 disaster was one of the biggest tests of his life as a president. He failed. But God gave him another chance. This one. Unfortunately, he dropped the ball again. In 2024, as a minority leader, when the crisis happened, the same flooding, he wrote and basically said that when or if he said that the flood was caused by government. He said it was government's failure that led to the flooding. Then something happens. He went ahead to make a suggestion. He says if he is given the chance, he will provide what he called an engineering solution to the flooding problems. 16, 15 months into his tenure, Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, where is your engineering solution? Where is your engineering solution? The solution you promised us in 2024 that you will bring out. Where is that solution? Probably that would have helped us to mitigate this. What happened yesterday, the soothsayers foretold us. The seers foretold us. And GMET told us it will happen. It wasn't a force majeure. May 2015, when it happened to him, I could have said it was a force majeure because he didn't know. This one he knew. You know why I know he knows? One of his agencies, GMET, told us. In February 2020, GMET released their report. GMET told us that, Ghana Metro told us that this year we'll have above normal rains. And GMET made specific recommendations to NADMO, to district municipal assemblies, to national security, to policymakers on what to do. And GMET told us that these rains will happen June, July, and probably in August. They told us. If you are in a position, you promised an engineering solution, one. Two, in February, in March 2025, you came out with a committee to deal with that. Then three, in February 2026, GMET also told you this will happen. And then it still happened. And when it happened, it catches you, pants down, it catches you, then you are clueless. What we have seen is that the government was completely unprepared for this, and that is why we are suffering like this. It wasn't a force majeure, it was something we knew about, we just didn't prepare for it. Two, my brother made a point about monies, and whom we should blame for the monies. The World Bank has released a report in May 2026 about the works they are doing. Do you know whom the World Bank says we should blame for the works not being done? The Ministry of Finance. The World Bank told us that, if you want, I can repeat, I can quote.
It for us.
Today, Joy FM has also published an investigative report on this, specifically telling us that it was the financial restrictions imposed by the Ministry of Finance that has delayed the release of funds to complete this project. The World Bank has named somebody out of Houston. It says that the delays in the release of, it said the financial strings put there delayed the release of funds to complete this project. So, if you want to blame an individual who didn't release money, fundings for this thing to happen, it is not Cecilia Dapa. The World Bank didn't say that. Because the money, remember, the money belongs to the World Bank. I want us to be very clear. It's not the World Bank is telling us that it is Honorable Atafosun whose offices, financial stringent or whatever rules there, delayed the release of money. And because those contractors were not paid, those people were not paid, the work has not been done.
But beyond that as well, they also indicated that a part of the money was also now sent into the COVID.
Yes, it's in the report. You asked for the detailed report. I can send it to you.
So hold on. I'm just bringing that in as
I know,
well,
I'm
because
agreeing.
you seem to be pointing fingers.
No. I was
one
asking
side.
a question. My
But
brother
a
was
part
saying.
of that money was also spent on COVID.
Yes, it did.
But that wasn't what
But
the
the
money
World
was
Bank
meant
did.
for.
The World Bank actually is in the report you are talking about. You don't have. I have it. It tells you the number of people that were tested. It tells you what was happening. It tells you the other components of the project. There's something here called adequately equipped health facilities. Total individual tested for COVID. People provided with improved urban living conditions. People provided with improved urban living conditions. Like, what I'm saying is that these things were also.
Hold there. You didn't finish. What I'm saying.
Hold on.
We are not done.
Hold on.
Master, relax.
You let
don't
him.
have the floor.
Is that what the money was meant for?
That's what the World Bank is supporting the money was used for. And
That's what the World Bank says it was used for.
That's what it says.
But is that what it was meant for?
The World Bank says that also has been used for. The World Bank has not flagged that any criminality has been done with that. If you are a country, when you were talking, I kept quiet out of respect.
Please.
If you are a country and you, let's remember the two differences here. COVID was force majeure. This Friday is not. If in the force majeure, you move almost every single resource you have to deal with the force majeure, that's just management. You do not sit in the force majeure and then you have money for something and you refuse to move the money. That's no management. In management, when there's a force majeure, you move. So moving those resources to deal with COVID was a smart and intelligent way of dealing with a force majeure. It was a global disaster, and you did that. Nobody or nothing, the World Bank so far has not come out to say that those monies were not used for that project. That is what you do. You divert funds when you are dealing with force majeure. That's what I'm coming to. So as I said, the World Bank has now told us that report is out there, that whom we should blame for not releasing that money. And because of that, it says the project is moderately on that. That is that blame. If you want to blame an individual, if you mention an individual, it remains squarely in the Ministry of Finance. Why didn't they release that money quickly? There's a task force. Then I'll come to task force. Why didn't the task force tell the Minister of Finance that GMED has told us this will happen, release the money? Why didn't they release the money? My hypothesis, my theory is that the money was used for something else. What is removed? I cannot prove. That's why I say it's a hypothesis. Because if you have the money and you are told there's a disaster coming, you will release it. No releasing meanwhile what? You are complicit in this. The government is complicit. Number two, you set up a committee. I want you to look at the makeup of that committee, and it's the perfect definition of what we call maladministration. The deputy chief of staff is made the chairman of the committee. You know the people working under him are two cabinet ministers, who even by rank are higher than him in the government.
So the point is.
And the National Security Advisor. So you hire three very, very senior staff, cabinet ministers, to serve under their junior. Then the deputy chief of staff doesn't have a budget. He doesn't have operational capacity. The men and women who have operational capacity are supposed to work under the man who doesn't have any operational capacity. So the chairman is not supposed to instruct the National Security Advisor on what to do. He's not supposed to instruct the cabinet ministers on what to do. And you wonder why they have failed pathetically, and you wonder why they have not come out with any report, and you wonder why, despite whatever they've done, they cannot even afford to tell the Minister of Finance that a disaster is coming, release funding. It tells you that this committee...
You think it's because of a matter of seniority?
No, I'm telling you that it was set up to fail. Whosoever set it up did not think
Why would the president deliberately set up?
I didn't say deliberately. So you saw that you do things
set up to fail.
Yes.
So that means that there really was not going to be any.
Exactly, and we've seen the results. We've seen the results of that.
Why would the president want to set
I don't know.
up
I don't know.
committee
I don't know.
to fail in the
I don't know.
first
Ask
place?
him. I don't know. I am telling you
the
that.
one that's making that.
No, I'm telling you that. Look at the structure of the committee. I've laid out something. Look at the structure of that committee. When you set up a chairman of the committee, the chairman is supposed to regulate things. The chairman should be able to make the match. You are telling a deputy chief of staff to be able to tell the National Security Advisor what to do. You are telling us to. I am saying that the makeup of that committee did not lend it to efficiency. It wasn't an effective tool. It was a wholly pathetic and ineffective tool established, and that is why we are seeing its results.
Was that what he was supposed to do? To tell them what to do?
I don't know whatever he was supposed to do, and whatever they were supposed to
work together.
Bella, whatever they were supposed to do, they didn't do it. They failed pathetically. That is the point.
Okay.
Two, you now go down to I've talked about funding. Look, if you take this our fourth Republican demonstration, nobody has made a bigger investment in anti-flooding and this and done what the NPP did with the loan they got for the World Bank. No other government can say we have secured this amount of funding to deal with this, and nobody, no other government. The funding they secured, and the money is still there. The World Bank told us that the money has not been spent. The money has not gone anywhere. The World Bank said that the money the MPP was able to secure to deal with flood environment is the biggest single investment in flood investment in this country par excellence. No other government has been able to do that.
Okay.
And that tells you a commitment to save, a commitment to prevent these things from happening. Engineering delays can happen. I'll give you a perfect example of why an engineering delay happened. The president told us last week that because of the rains, big push projects have been what? Suspended or stopped. And that they will continue after the rains. That is an engineering problem. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm listening.
An engineering problem. Now, the Odo River, as I said, the drainage is delayed. It has not been, in fact, it has not actually been delayed. You cannot say that project is delayed because the expected completion date is December 2027. Unless and until it passes that date, you cannot say it has been delayed. Unless and until you go after December 2027, you cannot say that the project has been delayed. Because, again, it's on time. You can say that there are delays. Delays doesn't mean it's delayed.
Doctor,
so, yes.
So that's why I keep asking that, okay, there's some 350 million. You say that's the most money that any government has been able to
Which is a fact, yes.
Fine. A certain percentage of it was spent on addressing the problem.
Yes.
About 40% of it.
Yes, yes.
If that's the case, should we be seeing the levels of devastation? Let's say, for example, that yes, there's been delays in releasing the rest of the money to address the problem. At least the 40% that was spent, should we not have seen some levels of improvement in the situation?
It's true, that question is valid. Another way of looking at it is that if that 40% was not spent, don't you think that the devastation would have been worse than that?
But,
no, I'm asking, let's look at it. You are saying that.
So then what has changed?
What has changed is that what has changed is here. Let me tell you what has changed. Let me tell you the work that has been done. The work, there's a report. It says that what? It talks about the report that, if you give me, capacity of primary Odo channel to carry floodwaters and cubic meters. Then it says that the primary indicator measures an increased capacity of Odo River due to regular dredging. Dredging commenced in February 2024 in unincumbent areas. But the post baymetric analysis.
So
he's landing on this.
This is what happened. You asked me what was done. So
if that was done,
I tell you what is done without reading the report. I didn't do the work, and I'm giving you a technical report of what they said has done. Now you are saying I shouldn't tell you what has done. So how do you want to answer the question?
Don't tell us. Nobody's saying that.
What was done?
If work has been done, we should not see the levels of devastation that we are seeing now, at least.
That is one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is to say that if that had not been done, we would have seen worse.
Okay.
Do you understand? Okay. No, just not quick. I want you to understand that.
Point me.
We could say that if that was not done, more lives would have been lost and the damage would have been bigger. But the bigger point here is that, so we can then go back and say that, 1, work is being done.
Okay.
2, the funds are available. And 3, nobody has spent or wasted the money. And 4, that the person delaying the release of the money that would have saved lives and properties is the current finance minister.
Okay. No problem.
Yes, so...
Elikem, I'll let you come in. Give me a minute. Let's
first of all, it's not true that the World Bank stated anywhere that what is happening is as a result of the inability of the finance minister to release funding towards the Garrett project. It's
There's a report in
I'm coming. If you were to read,
what was I am the end you maybe? But me check your call with grass afano.
Hello, Ochami.
Ojam, who's so answer them?
Hey, what one you? They say me who's soon. Some idea, Unity Link Nana me so. Intimate someone, why am I one?
Nadiano Anyamo.
Me boy you, and so you be.
Mr. Sabanis Kamania, opening why Unity Link. Your office will UK, USA, Europe, Ghana, any baby. UK Financial Conduct Authority, and our license here. Any banks, any telcos are doing in a year. And Kobanda say, Ubasorianopa, na Unity Link and you have more. Davy, so what is the car air called Ghana? That's the one for Unity Link Anya. What the high risk for him? Uzikano, a bet me a Unity Link Ghana in India. 30 years, no punch. The Animariano, Yansokania, and any manager. Make me say, a banis Kamania, Unity Link Neko. Unity Link. Simple, secure, and fast.
Kwabna, mi hu wacho. Na okosha hini.
Samu de mumpa akwentu eja UK. Ena mkodi na watwi mienu bio.
Entia ena wire fresh no.
Me company no, omone Pinnacle Amofaba Education Services Limited. Ewo contract. Enti ye wo mu a omo ba be fa ye call me ekosua ade. Eni je sem ne se course bia opese okoye wo UK ana brotire be bia no. Omo de oba kontu 2 weeks. Omko kire niema bebre. Wanga Pinnacle bua won bebre no. Ebi ni bankers, digital marketing executives, students, public service professionals, media, oil and gas staff, businessmen, and KPA Kaho. Course be a person or quabruti koyeno. I have Fre Pinnacle.
Hey, abrochire, minya bianca meko. Nanso ne connection man for ya na agi usikedi. Ti ano kra ma misuro.
Enunti ena wasa one credible company bi te say Pinnacle Amofaba Education Services. Eye adwuma. Sir uti UK na wa setena resident permit. Na opese wotoa wumesua wonsem so. Wakobi de unko bi de omobeboa from foundation level, certificate, diploma, masters. Eni ne keka woni nyina omobeboa. Ye nuanom ye nurses ene doctors ne so ode wonko de bia. Opese wokotoa audition so anase ho sohwe no okotro wo UK a Pinnacle be yamo.
Na woka ni say sikasam so
sikasam ne kra de menua tumuda eda fom se boko. Ukodi be na wotwe anase na wotwe mienu a de obedi anopa ne awia baby a wobeda ni nyina Pinnacle afa hoka. Wodi ane o plane ticket pe na wobetwa. Usua de awie so esando ko landing tour. Na eni je sem ne se every September yi kɔ nyina. Eno ane se Pinnacle se sankrofo ko to mu school so saa. Nti omo awie SS ene obi a okura diploma person ko 20 degree so ni nyina no Pinnacle ebetimi de nakɔ.
Phone numbers mama na me de me ho kura premi.
Pinnacle numbers 079 471 52878 ebiom 079 471 52878. Wabo amrane say, let your education be your pinnacle.
To me, if I want to be
to go. Your favorite radio station on digital online. Taking you home safely. Digital now.
In the meantime, 41 minutes past of 9 o'clock and pay Hot Digital Online UK from TV3 discussion this morning. More importantly, was the issue with the flooding. Now, it is an issue, it has come to stay. So definitely we need to work tirelessly on it and make sure we find a lasting solution to avert this calamity that occurred during the course of the week. It is something that is really mind-boggling. Now, let's look at issues with the Nipa Ayo Magin Somasun Edin Ewo Mine Ghana, especially people who throw dust and bins into the rubbish into the water. Na ebekwa na sanko buildia na sanba na beball no. And if you throw a ball into the wall, it will bounce back to you. And it is going to serve as a deterrent. I know that there will be people who will still be recalcitrant in the system, try to abuse the system at all costs. Maybe they will negligently act in a way that will be very harmful to the society. But we need to take a critical look. those who will be in charge, people will be deployed because we need to take certain things serious. This time, it creates a lot of jobs. Especially, you'll be fined in court when you cause this havoc in the system. You'll be taken to court for misdemeanor charges. And then, in the meantime, a judge will also award some kind of penalty unit or maybe a custodial sentence that will unravel the mystery, because I believe that people don't want to go to court, because you know that when you go to court, either you could be languishing in jail or you'll be given a sentence that could curtail you, or you sign a bond to make sure you refrain from your attitude. The attitudinal problems is there. Now, when we come to the government have a bigger picture in making sure you build a country where the laws will be applied regardless whoever is responsible for something. Then nobody should be shielded. If I go to commit a crime or do something that is harmful to the society, the laws under the Public Order Act, it means that under Article 60 of Act 129 of the Constitutional Provision, 1960, under the Article 60 of the provisional laws. Like I said, the law should catch up with me so that the law would deal with me ruthlessly in any competent court of jurisdiction. That's one thing we need to straighten up, because it's not going to be like I have to be an appendage to a particular or seek a refuge from where you think that when you commit a crime, you'll be gone scot-free. And people in Ghana, you can see even when the rain was deeply involved in our discussion, there are people who were going around that afi na won ehwe baller no sumane ba na they looking it from afar. No mo hwe baller din no say, hey, baller pa ni. I'm say, you happen to be the victim. These are some of the issues ayeka. One kasa baller utugu ya no apaki eno baller no san besraw. The baller is paying a visit to you, and it has caused danger and harm in the society. So where do we stand now? Now, we see the issue, you cannot just treat it with the contempt it deserves. It has a lot of varieties. Now, with the ingredients that we need to put in to digest this particular issue, it comes in a different forms. And that is where we just want to be practical about it and take a critical look at the stages. We go through the segment. We go from one stage to another. Now, here to me, I criticize the issues on board. In the meantime, in between time, Unity Link send there 15-4 nti bomodiam yesi kamani yakome busua for Ghana na onso mfentwa wonu spedede na manfo ho akire omo papa nso iba ya sai. There are people who cannot afford a meal a day. Na a problem in the country. We need to adjust ourselves and put things in order. Pinnacle Amofaba Education, Mikhail say the artificial intelligence program no baso on the 10th of August to 14th of August, and it requires bankers, digital marketing executives, student SME owners, public service professionals, the media, oil and gas staff, any businessmen, and those who want to be associated with this program. A friend in the UK can also give you the clue. Say, if you want to be part of this program, now we are banker, we are digital executive consultant. Now, so say we are student. Now, we are to me, and so penaka to me aboa mo to me aye masters no crabio or masters. If you want to continue, they'll help you to give you all the necessary requirements. Everybody saw Hilton Hotel, London, Croydon 101, Worthing Way, the Worthing Way, CR94HH, London, Croydon, United Kingdom. Now we accommodation, breakfast, workshop materials will all be included. Ne tour, mweko tour. And I pay you so minka say AJN and Co Limited, the chartered accountant, business advisors, specialists in preparation, annual account, bookkeeping, self-assessment, especially for Uber drivers. And know your AJN and Co Limited. Form 016344 70495 01634470495 and 07883077742. AJN and Co Limited. And pay enso ebo echidom. Fatherless Visa Travel and Tours. Ebana passport one sensem airline ticket. Enua Francis Frisbee Park. London November 4 3 Echo Green. Into pe passport in the menim here. Enua Francis. Obebo ni tew. Na unsaka passport. Upe se unya uji visa. Now so say upeso renew passport nso Enua Francis Frisbee Park. London November 4 3 Echo Green. And pay enso ebo echidom. Na meka say Step Ahead Foods. And so a Ghanaian company na omo Ghana nuane box on the kama etitu pan no ayedi banku ene fantedokno tanyama traditionally wrapped any crunchy plantain chips ni na no Step Ahead Foods for siano. This is a brand image under normal circumstances no most of the shops, the leading shops are Ubenya Step Ahead Foods ne product ni bi wo for 074 976 56309 na 074 976 56309 email admin@stepaheadfoods and pay and so hot digital online the newly attained DAB radio no you see I mean say everybody is comfortable, no complaint at all. We've worked tirelessly to achieve the best results ever since. People have been criticizing Hot Digital, especially when we were at the same time giving all sort of names, piracy, all sort of names. And we have crawled to this stage. We've also matured and metamorphosed into getting the DAB radio that will help the community. It is very important when Mr. Van Dyke and the management were able to put things together to achieve the very objective that we are talking about, especially when people have given us guy names, any botanical names about Hot Digital Online, the pirate radio. The pirate radio was one more time the issue of people sig tune. So when we a pirate, we a pirate. So now that there's a conformity here. We have sustained the big platform that is giving the audience the practicality. It's serving the community with much more dignity. And I pay with your little contribution to make a bank near Santa Day and a Dini Hot Digital Online Limited. Account number is 763-64379, 763-64379. Short code near 090128 and numbers not to reach for any further inquiries. Somebody me after 079-314-06630, 079-314-06630 and 079-318-79741 enti enshenisu. Now on the 5th of September, it is the long awaited concert in London that is coming all the way with the Dominion Center 9 Broadway, Wood Green, N22, 6 Delta Summer. Now, it is going to be a fantabulous show that you can never resist. I'm talking about live in concert. Kojontri will be giving a huge assistant from Fred Mewe. Fred Mewe was a hit maker back in the days when we talk about Zobla Zo. And I have not seen him personally, but this time it will give me the opportunity to watch him live performing together with Kojontri at the Dominion Center come the 5th of September 2026. MCs will be Da Force and Kuku Usufrimpong. TQ will be the DJ on the night. For all the news, any tidbits, any information, be able to me after 077-288-76027. Inti no Jumedie Sunkwa Baso. Rhapsody Apartment. Now Uko Ghana. Titu na upe baby lodge within a few time be and a short stay or a long stay. Airport pickup. Rhapsody Apartment. Ewo North Legon Soa Peaceful Lane. Ablo AJ Honewo. Now they have discounted packages that are at a reduced rate and does not include electricity because electricity no get leg. It be cable meter wire way they carry up. So by doing so, you slot in your electricity and then make sure, say, as long as you stay, you can do that until that one does not come in the cost of Rhapsody apartment. And more free Wi-Fi and DSTV, $50 a night. Now, when you get to the airport, there'll be a airport pickup, and if plus 233 5538 30229 plus 233 5538 30229 and plus 44744 5311 265 plus 44744 5311 265. Rhapsody apartment, a bruta, ukohwa won't say yes. Any jenkwa. One large and small room be a Beckton available now for single occupant for plus 44795 6390380 plus 44795 6390380 interno ewo Beckton. The mobile aquafare say we need you. E&J handyman about carpentry works, door fixing and hanging, fixing of kitchen wardrobes and wooden floors. And we are E&J handyman on 074324 02117 074324 02117. Menka also say the Yenua Alfred Edu Amankwa, popularly and affectionately called Principal. Now, only say Principal Yenua Bakwa, and also about the political arena. He's done well as a radio host, and more time he's doing a lot into Principal Yamisha. Now, ne papa Efrimu into ne yenu bebaso. Ewo United Reformed Church, Grange Park Road, Ewo London E10 5EP, nearest train station, the Central Line, Midlands, and also Suffragette Line, Overground. And no, ubetumi afana bus 58 158 69 and bus 97. And to ubetumi afrenia Bema Alfred Edwamankwa Principal was 079 132 32778. And I said Ma Hilda was 079 432 32189. And Nana Kwame was 079 494 93990. And the papa Mr. Stephen Anani Amankwa, aka Odikru. And please, you are invited to join us to bid a farewell of our beloved father and grandfather, Mr. Stephen Anani Amankwa, Inua Principal. Ne papa anti yanshanu so do na on the 5th of September yenko jano na onja ne papa echi kwan nya 73 years. In the meantime, in between time. Now Chris Mason has made some revelation about the expected and the Burnham becomes the prime minister the next few months. He will inherit the 4.7 billion bill to deliver the defense investment plan. And as a deep, that is before the worries about how to boost the defense spending further as the next general election looms. The numbers accompanying the much delayed plan to point a big gap that the current government anticipates the next one will need to fill the autumn. Already, the sharp trade-off to get the dip out of the door have provoked backlash, including from a serving minister, Hamish Farconer, who went to public about his frustration at the uncertainty that has now swells around a road widening project of A46 network bypass near his constituency of the Lincoln province. The prime minister in the next months, in the next few months, there's going to be a new prime minister, as the prime minister who resigned undoubtedly, and Andy Burnham will be the prime minister in the next few months. Now I know who some and so no. Now, woman raped Superdry co-founder tell BBC she was working for him at the time, and there are more issues talking about how UK has consistently experienced a short-lived prime ministers. Now, it has become a trajectory that when you look at the issue within the few years I experienced after David Cameron went on 2 terms, and shortly after he won the next election, he resigned due to the Brexit. Now, Theresa May took over and then she also did her best. Later on, she also resigned, and then Boris Johnson came into the scene, and then he voted into power. He also resigned. Then we had Liz Truss, and also by 45 days, also resigning. The Prime Minister, and also the court elections, I found also the court elections. Na ohwe ono ediana na ke say no feel so bit me wini but win to me because they do baby na conservative forecast mo hwe na 120 ayen and na 120 ayen bebre enti ma 120 ayen bebre because who say back and forth na adoso enti eno ho nsem enso ebae ma ono susu ekoye ena ya to aba ena ke stama wini ye wini no aba 2 years down the lane I resign oko na sisi ano 5 years ena unya na chese what matters for 5 years will in the near future any prime minister in the UK will be able to meet the threshold when you have been given the nod and who sem and so another question and kofu bisa and also ewo yanko enim na nto agbedo se nche yebedi nkomo anope yintie ras bonsra ras anope mi chechia The well wishers, those watching us live on the social media platform, Charity AJ, and pay me dawase papa anti Charity. I mean, sure, baby. And main linky the issues and I'll pay for those of us Kingsley Dua and social life and pay on the TikTok. More importantly, those on the TikTok and pay Ichichamuna. Moving on quickly, na ya to a good so and pay Charity. And here the issue and pay the flooding systems. Say you come home some because what stress and uncle for die now unke bin shemu. Would imagine say it happened to you? More ya. There's some more yapa shred senya and so no funk of war. Emuya ya JJ also share life and pay. And pay me church Master Owen. Master Owen me church and pay me so yapa. Set also share life and pay. Abdul Razak. And so sharing life and pay our TikTok. MK. Loza also sharing life and pay. MK say hi. North Tambalag Nana say Chicha no pay. And young Chen ever call and shooting command pay. And some no into me Jack into me Jack and Suda Sani Tino. Flood and Hons and some dear Ebana or mine and Ebono. Cause we be in fact. Say natural disaster nearby my activity now is slow. One shall not buy no so one could touch ma because nipa no and spend it business on Koswa. Don't me every. Yes, I say me funny serious. And then more ya papa. They did the color man. This year, this music awards, the color and echo. If you have money, I go give you. If you my body, I go give you. And then China, Queen 912 million so on 079084433338. Now, in 12 million soon to flood an issue, no, abaye another issue. Na a hard dream, your papa. Ever call life, no need in command of pay. Nana, Emi saying to you on a pay.
Valentine, Michelle Pacha Ghana for and no Krenana Waka, Chaskala, Songwriter of the Year, and the Artist of the Year. No one to contest him this year.
Okay, Yati.
We'll be in contest, because Wafa. Yeah, quiet, Nemano, Valentine. It's your President John Dramani, Mama, baby, over here. And mom, we are telling him this is not asking, it's an order. We are telling him to recognize human consciousness and do the needful and resign as a president of Republic of Ghana.
You should resign.
You should resign. Immediate way, Bronia and Kaonya argument to resign, and another NDC member take over. Because 2015, no, you're in charge of the Republic of President, and Ensuni just fry was circle. And you see just like that. Under his watch. And then I don't know what continue in WhatsApp for second time. The flood problem and the sanitation should be his number one priority. As a leader. And can necessarily the number one priority. Obaya also where Jayo Kwakosi market. And I say happy biome. MPP identify the problem, no? You have expertise all over the world. Any Ghanaian engineers and university or academia, and I saw more solution, but I almost say, yes, 18, I'm say, water reservoirs in Suno to a bit to me, in Suno to now, gutters are Kakakaya Babemu, Yakope, Bessia War, World Bank. $350 million. Yes, as I say, yeah, time on sona, you free power. And your handle is a kind of $200 million. And the matter of forcing. After forcing by us on to us, me and Nupen or better us. And then your AC Biomia, a Fanco for under his watch. And the power, you see, a more than 12. It is why you're under President Romani Mama and watch. Obaya, what Zoom Lion contract him, a fair flood, a fire, and a penal saco, almost Ambra. What sanitation ministry, what's abolish it? Also, on to being beyond Farmer District Assembly. Yet you can crummy, quite abroad for Faso or Mutu bin, or Mato bin the Ama if you be ye the BSC Bontenso, you allocating for a pra, as I you be, yes, I then for 24/7. Omo drainage omo ya hwejuma na onya sadia no kwanda na ofaso wutu fiase. This is not asking, we are telling him man onya consciousness say humanity so be binin so yenupa no resigning another MDC member and take you over. Kiestama buy who is a Niama and Koyeno. What is I order na Konyato? We been seeing the Pama and Jinipa or Dogana. We are telling him to resign immediate effect.
Fred, ain't you?
You. Good morning.
Morning, Fred.
Now what to say?
No, you're most well.
Radiado.
Okay, ain't you?
Na pay me my way you go near Jumane. Na nemisa we yes ya. On can see na say me chiaro pa so for kwa David kwa be pekam. Eja tufo ne German boga. Your brother Joe or Brempon any nana committees greatly no michia won. Your man or Obaya na abadicness that him man se wa michia munyina. Valentine, and some na nemisa at the betu dre, you know, say kame enra obebo subi.
Okay.
Na ye no be a bia beto yen tape no ye tiebi. Na osha and penny focus say we are seeing more yesma a penyansa for near Sumana mountain thing. And a mountain for by you know, and she say be wa one moon nehunim dear no montiasi. Zoom Lion contractor or cancel me say no. Zoom Lion and yet say in Wuran and no more manage you. Sebi ye janai no a month for a cocoa and fear money at the idea no. Nina eka a Zoom Lion contract no. Ya and also and I'm quite so boba. Yan say ya a janai beditri. Edware Ghana for fire mu baby esa membu bone ya ekosonti enti Ghana for se mo sorry ankasa ampa me fanda ne emisa so customer na resign yo ensio bro ne manfo asa na resign ye
Davi
enti owura mahama yesre no ade no onimu yo tone onimu ye chena ye man the chance Okotine fie ye dede ebo abanya safo etiri ana odi atroni kontompo abedi akondwa hwede oye ensu ato ebro manfo afa amanfo japade nyina wote helicopter mu na onam wie na tie ba ko so ekoso em say wani atwa so a 1875 locomotive trains no a Britain ha na won the train cargo yi
ebianom de be cargo ana
wa baba soa afi ha betua ho sika na egu museum so wa baba soa afi ha betua ho sika
ebianom de cargo
no de kwa run Ghana rail service no ana ye
me na make ebianom de be locomotive and I tell locomotive ebia for goods train or the goods train but to aso now the train ana
na enoro or the train dey
goods train
go to Ghana ho
check box side ni timber ni ade
no and dey bo am here and dey rail line or dey go for so ho do
na rail line chana
na dey no
oh na o so me hu na make na je takra ni o takra di oh na
Valentine. In fact, say ubenya yenu abosom efri yaba say nananom abosomfo enshira owure yi ote one dia ototo papa so yi ene the vice president omo ye so incompetent ya me hu no bida she ayi train etira ayi owura kufuado ekofo ba say mesem Ghana for mobile dia mo betumi ayeni dia mo betumi aya na the fault ante yi
yeah Fred nana kwam yenti o yanko
you ba no pay me chia o ne bu cha na hope some hoye
no ye pa mo so e
na me adom be
okay
chia so ba ya nana mo big me that him mam say wa money na I don't pay me chairman ya kwame bekam me chia me ya Fred a we see also for David Uncle Joe any more ma Kenya me ya Steven me chia pa Steven on the Ghana me chia pa Steven chief and me ya me chia bia idea ya
okay
I did be paying him a kuma. In fact, this is a politics on. So why I say yeah, which near how I come our politics. Argentina are buying the bar. Ghana yes shikwa, what da na yes shikwa. NDC for to me blame us for the normal one what da mo yes. The drought here is CEO. I go see or no fee NP area. Yeah, they share go for do. South Africa go for the control weather. Na me fi more dintina drought near DC. Mahama. Na ya me buza se journalist na mo ti radio ni so Ghana wa ho. E dia nko na dia mo ma enku anti no ma to Ghana sa. They have rejected the country totally. What you say? Most of the journalists in Ghana, all they are going to destroy Ghana for their selfish interest. Because the way a journalist now to Ghana, not the NDC for the only year what not the MPP for the DCB and Casa Mahama. Now to me, be one of the Maya politics idea. I mean, you and the Ghana, dear pen and politics for Ghana. What can I Ghana you see put up. The nature will take its course. Nature is taking its course. The female bunny pound or moving. What was said? Yamia Casabama is Sherman or the Crafino because Nipa or Ghana on Saturday, you need Papaya or here. And if you say Yama was so not on Shassan in nature, as say, or your soul or told you, eh? The Nipa to me, Panas and Pra. That is what is happening. We should wake up. I am an enthusiast of humanity. You think humanity as in fact, our type of education and some of us family. Now why humanity as now why we say a deep on a diva. What I say? Okay. And who did you and who did you baby out in the bone pine? So you begin to think like this. You best say on my number next generation they will have no nation called Ghana to survive. Ghana for politicians. Let's wake up. Yes, say on my yet to feel our Yamina was so sunny and that pride free. Why? Because selfish interest. Now, selfish interest in the opinion, what do we gain? What do we benefit? We are living like we are not human. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Zoom Lion, and then Nigeria for contract Zoom Lion, Kenya for contract Zoom Lion, Ghana for Yaya Wadia Yempe, now Zoom Lion, and then the fee. What is going on? The account was me about your politics. I mean, I am a bit controversial. And if one particular tribe which I know you are not going to be happy, but I'll have to say one particular tribe
individual when you give the opportunity to somebody.
One particular tribe in Ghana and almost dominating a governance today. Village or northern region, they live in mob houses. So they don't care. When they see dirty, they don't see it as anything. They see it as normal because they live in mob houses. Upon all having, the Speaker of Parliament from there, our judges from there, managers, directors from there, they are still living in mob houses. All right. So the dirty that they are seeing around us is nothing to them.
Maybe I want to know me the yeah, that's it. Kwame Green Gentio.
Good morning.
Morning, you want
to plastic. The chair will be another Mr.
Yeah.
Assembly by me, I'm sure that's next week. Nami, the amount for a farm. You're about me so called amount for say the castle for Casa I said dead bodies to be a for 4 years to trace and we say among found quite the amount for so there is no evidence to that near the river. Let me TV trial of answer and me about channel issue. I need a Cassian funny baby in your politics. Drew baby, I was here the politics in Tunche. You are the intermediate politics. You are the go about criticize the president and it's the same way about what is the measures. Now, no matter the town flag plan, I would be good me nana to buy a notice. Once a van the caricatures of a fan of the 4 years. I know, I will be anywhere. Me, I mean, my so me by the ending of the first term, and also be room the second term. I'm starting for radio. So, because I buy the about so many chance. Now, we share the air cost we never. If we baby near Drew baby, we all know is all these projects we for or done and name baller issues in Nemudi and I kind of say none the can pick a CPA when it comes to that. Big crack as a sourcing or the boat to be linking from Odon to as a tourism site and the idea. Yeah, my Mrs. Branda Pabe Daswa actually says somewhere by cry, we shall people for crimes or Muluzi Leisure crown or review committee or we are crowd about. I said, my many cry, seek a seminar uncle who on a fire cabinet and the cry a pre-rule for MPP losing elections. Your best MPP for us, someone barrier of and your fair and crown va. Your areas bear 70%. You should view now through the drones now. Va. They will must live on a me Santinuba, Santimemoa. As Santin is a building on a Bronus be I was zongo. Bronu be at the hope massive. O Batafua, your Tafu Zungu, and Asantafo in Sanson of Zobo Kunso. This is where it is. But of course, not necessarily area, however, you can see that there is no road to be an answer, be cries here. Semi ambulance, as a fire engine meeting around. So the same way, and can follow us right there. And our concurrence are not necessarily. I capture the whole place now. My cannot question table. We have we know them are patch is everywhere. For me, imagine Mabaka, Simpson Canadian drone, or they can move capital and come, baby. Now, you share how I choke in a CIO a bit as because I know BSC Daukumasia, Opposite Crava 2016. Come in twice as a big crowd where you are, Masama. That time was less than 150 million. But now, a whole year being told me crowd could bear billions in this price now because in our crowd, I bear hot cake.
Okay.
But me, my dream, my commitment, me, the BMT Rollins, Yassam, Mills is so can be. Tell BMP pay opportunity about Bemu Piava, not Ghana, especially not Crown and Wide. Because politicians are so expensive. They are building them and they be so Korea state. I don't know, man, can I be do the
okay. What's the man find your politics? So, how do you politics?
Your politics, yes.
Because man find you because who do your politics? You be so have a car. Intimate find your politics. Why now? What's the man find your politics?
Politics. Now me and you know, because Korean the chaos be swa. Nay, so maybe I didn't call more story building. I said, just a crown or both for being when you pay a combat boss will be to me. That 90 minutes, 30 seconds. Yes, see it, no, your best. We actually the way forward because here. Usha galam say no we say to two other areas in so sport and the tier no moti to Google as I broke you all the issue no crown because Ghana issue in the kobo so be musu so kobo so be na kobo pum. This is how we all know science. Okay. I say MPP for na we try na basa na obaye su na we masa we angry ni election mamu because we Ghanaians are not blaming the president. It's something that we have to clean ourselves to find a way that MPP for money issue in Ghana for who say Ghana who agent para dem here dey ba.
Yeah, that's it. I got every day into you uncle.
Is that Valentine?
I'm saying, Mamma, find your politics was Remu.
Sunday, and I don't know, be the Diaspora.
Okay,
not doing work. Any pound, you find your politics. You always want to show up, okay. Nana Kwame, open pond, Nana Bisa. Nana shop and looting a shop about a chunka check.
Okay.
About ya, Naso and Cassia. Mam Sewa, Kufi, office Kufi.
Fred is a 2-4, maybe able to be a crowd shows us answer, and now, if only Mammy Alice would do Mammy Avis Sapon. Nana, me, Dickness, at Yabai Tunkacho, and Mamma Kenya, a show with Biara, a man say, lawyer back pay a show. Cecilia Abbey, a chance Abasa. We are not 2 dear, we are not 2 dear, and so no crab back pay. Ukrainian Yana said, Nana, I miss a Robert Camp, and then so I repeat it. Then so maintain and this in Libya, and that's MPP Libya because I'm Sicano, ye $300 million, and this Libya because I'm Pascal ever hope. Oh, our money is true. Or money is a chile. MPP Mafia, then Mr. Kayan so. Say I'm Papa Mafaso, and Yampa, Omekan. And this is also say Yampa, Macano Craig. So, ye too, I'm Maku, Edu Mochi. That's also me repeat arbitria. Sicano, a Duciano, modify him. Our penny, a mechanical say was it. Almost since he died with Zumono, and almost a woman, any regular Zumono, a go into them, and a man basan. Now, why and no manager? Obisi die with Zuma, one or manager is a. Obi to read about one or manager is done. So, as somebody will be a Pobidia Shannon. Yankopon, Abra would this really a serious. Now, be able to see dancing in Shokazu. No, be able to Ebu, Ebu, a young Yankasano. Adjubonia win the Petrimu, Adjubonia win the Petrimu. And whatever do. Says Yano, when I'm from the echo, so sumo, ye diboni. So, Eba said, Nanam, Nanam Apostle 4. Apostle Ebudia Hina. Apostle will be coy, or Bidia was a bit the fearful Yadas, and almost I get to Mono. Erubiana. Mama Bonidio. Ye jabo ni die ye pe tumi an anu che so se dibone ye pe sika ni ko se dibone ye dibone a bodi ye ni pe di ye tira Yakobon je bufo e se ewiase nyina di zuire se ewiase nyina Ghana se do Yakobon se do Ghana pa wa ye Ghana ofri ba bia bedu Ghana aso adu ba bia e di chiri yakete ba so Ghana obia wo ba bia e be Ghana se enso ye ni eti Ghana no boni pa asofo petumi a no mafa enuoso na nana mo pe akonwe dia ne fa enuoso amanyofo epa tumia ne fa enuoso oga sa no nyina ekoso no seke Yakobon woti aka edia ketua pa Yakobon onfa ma Ghana fo dia ketua pa Ghana fo o me nya boni di o ye nya boni di a me ka che o se die besia no ebi nya mai die besia no ebi nya mai enti wo mo obusi da wo zumo no e de che na dare so ye nipa na hwe enkansa so nipa na hwe enkansa so o mo mutu wura guaro enti ya na nipa ehu o mana
okay
va ngo shop chap eno mata me bona baso wa ya de den so menini sika joint account eno de be yes ade chap
kwami pa ka enti o yanko
Ju medasene akwanya ichia edikamfo akwade video course here mete Fred and ka mete namakwame illustration e bomu nyina baso communicators are more dedicating mo be kasa ma mo mai ayechia yini ama no nyina led by yini aba obaya the silent listeners e bomu nyina baso we do this together yes a bonding between us. It's on Tiasia, Ubekanibia. And I'll in the American say, now also come a fence of Greenwich, or see anything.
What's my fine politics?
I didn't find politics.
Yeah, to okay.
No, my buyer now, may one on me 3 years of my politics. Okay. Now, Futu on Fankoma, a on president. You see, the sense of hopelessness. The government, your frustration grows every day. when you listen to people like him. And then the president, sometimes, only for 2-3 consecutive days, Namabisa said, and the mama eba abamu, now the policy on flooding. You can say statement of intent. Matna dem wa jeng, esusu adie ho say, me de be rescue, and I say me de be ye me so problem we say amo. And when see ana all boy kufu adu echi no. Now the plan and all day. But when you ask them, they find a way to dodge the question. Say me Bob Valentine, she said Valentine ma oyenya. Now me nice bibi so say I can do better.
Okay.
But say uba na ye who say when you money na one number. In fact, mama they say leaving it to me alone make kwame. And can a second come in no, it will never be advised materialized. Because there's no way a bit possible say or by second time. It's answer now you can experience with you. I can say on one number. But ultimately find any way through some gullible people via or so bit managing the way out to be a second president. But the question is, every time be a bit June, July, August, in swear to be last a year no kufuado to now bonnechi. Okaya or Tesokra na chabi in Sokranya be ento. Now me how wanna say when you have a president, all that he could do is say flying helicopter around the affected areas. Now or make a gesture with his hand. And don't want a solution no. Oh, I want to know, and then they say, send 2 helicopters now in the room. Now, 7 hour directed pilot, and I say, is that enough? President, for heaven's sake, you tell Casa to them, then answer. Now, my solution where there is problem. It is a young sir. Nan ye one necessary and Raya, Ubia, or a copy video, not yes, as a woman. Now, so Unya Quenya one Kanya, may make an answer near the Kasha. Because I say, Uncle, the were men or move it to Yasa, won't call the affected areas. A flood in the week of 4 weeks. Now, one far report, Remy. When you 2 helicopter, taxpayers' money. I couldn't know why I know about. Until you know, pay almost question, you be so among one. You are also so educated, and you may be saying, say, BBC, pioneer near one panel, say, BBC, I will not pay your work could draw. So, bet me find a solution to what is happening. And then you are buying some. Yeah, couple moment to him, so Nimian said,
yeah, Kwame, no. Hello.
Pan.
Yeah, go your answers, ain't you?
What is it?
What's it?
Mr. What is it?
Oh, me, where, Pa, Monsieur?
Van.
Yeah.
You crow Ghana. Oh, your friend, Barack Obama, president, Okachire, say, if the institution works, Ghana will be okay. But our institution doesn't work.
It is the people.
The institution don't work.
It is the people who are vying for the positions. The people who are vying for the positions. No man form a conduit. You understand? Inti ejuma na so ye no. Ejuma na so ye no. Ono de obenya wo ho no be na nye ejuma no be ye. Na institution just Kromu has Kromu they can build this country or they can run this country without the prime minister. You know why?
Yeah.
Because the institution is strong. Anything I can stand because of course the institution is there, they are doing their work. And you know, no crowd prime minister will give directives, decision maker, no. There are other institutional bodies that can take the mantle to run the country. Into now the second person running. But they bring you as a spearhead. But you don't automatically do everything because the institutions are there to work. By any institutions, the person is going there to amass wealth. That is the modus operandi.
So when we build the country on that way, how will the country move forward?
That's what I'm saying. All these things are the signs and the signals that tells us to say we need to take introspection of the character and the way because we often say sikan kwani bibia wo wiase.
Because Ghana make we sit down.
Exactly. Anything me chire we say. Nipa no wa adwen no or was adwen say. It means a chance we no for kwesa nyama we. That's all.
and a police in your police station. Or say, on protecting me no obiano. Or also, who complain and go to police station. Or say for car, cut up pen. Look, what kind of country are we building? It's not fair. Ghana, no. Oh God. Yeah, Ghana. You see, you got these 70 years. Look at that. Can you believe that? And then in so francophone because of selfish interest. Schools now, 15 schools for. I want to enter schools.
Okay.
Park it down, near enter schools. Park. Yes, they are wooden structures. No, and oh God. But sometimes you know what? The only place I'll blame the president and they say, World Bank America, MPP $350 million, right? Use 150. And then I got 200 million to force him. They've not. I'm a use to it on fire scanning mine. Now, if you don't radio, so almost only a journalism. Only a journalist. No. I was say without journalists, there will be no democracy. But whereby journalists be if they are affiliated to only the party in power, you are not doing good journalism.
Okay.
Every journalist has to say
you have to be objective.
Journalists know Fox America who says they need Donald Trump, big banter, only a problem.
Yeah.
Because he said the things Donald Trump said, he's fighting for America. He's not fighting for Donald Trump.
That's right.
That's what we Ghanaians have to do. We should desist from party politics. MPP, NDC. Look, Ghana comes first. They should.
But the point is, you Francis, you should know, say, political affiliation is not a crime. I always say it. When somebody belongs to a party, that is not a crime. But the person should be fair and candid in his opinion. And one area, into obi don party anya boni. Into no there.
There be no anya boni.
Into man gas MPP NDC no, you're right. So be support the party. MPP no right. I know there. Asem na ba. Let's take the holistic point of view. Na yenja say you can send me bebe. Ya da papa. Oba ya yenti o na yenko the program so ashi.
Yeah, good morning, Val.
Morning.
Chiani nyame mamu medical nyina kwame na kwame. Eni ye nyame mamu nyina Fred mo. Chia obia.
Okay.
Nim say list so enam kwanso ba ne kwa David mo ye chia mo. Ofasi ke wase wo fra wo free Ghana ba no fra na ne phone na kati. Ofra na kati.
Na ne phone no.
Nti bi a setting no nti na o de ne yere phone ne frame me na me say on her setting no fa me chia o pa ba ne ho mfa no and say change of weather no
no so come because
ya chia ma speed recovery e men nyina ya kama bom ma me di crest enra me ti wo nkada chi ma nana man say one me ba ranti mata oh me mo ahio o money yo clap for your hands why why are they? And I appeal na ja Miss Lawyer ati free me time mo na nkasa me kasawa. Eno so me be able to.
Na ba na umbo no tofa say bia weekend be na why listen why can you?
Oh me mo boss o me ka de watua say weekend na Friday na me bobo ni nyina so.
Okay.
Ba we me ka de watua. Enya be ma ba ko a ono so atua Ebenezer Boatin. Ono so was me a silence listener Ebenezer Boatin into ono so watua £30. Bro. Nyankopo nshila opa. Yeah, Amagana.
Kwame see esu an wusu.
Anu ti na mi nsu no ya na
kono. O se ben nsu na yemwa.
Esunia na kono sata di ntinam. Akola ya no iseki osumi ya na nsuo de ni kwa peta na say. Obibo. Did you won insane da? And asem areho was mensu. Wo bet bi aka me kasa make this watch am Kwa ka kire what they say chief of staff no. Ono na oba besie didi sofo atem ko gina asole da musuye kokobo na mane ese mane chi nka ne nyansam no onfa mpacho because no obi awi enipa awu na yesu a wo be ka chem se mame su edru baabi Yesu Kristo kura wo sui edru baabi no Yesu Kristo osui etikrache keep it to yourself never advice no come adom mama say de kwa me pekam ka kire won useless talk metu me fokrada when we are Casami and find your politics, it is like the power now. Condenam, now you are solid them now to praises. Oh, and now, no aggressive, no aggressive, no aggressive, and that's the other part, and then now one nama solid them, and I now to praises. When you are shocking, listen to yourself. Say the more papa JJ catch them. Say, MPP for Omaba Bemubia, then cancer, say boy. Oh, could you cut brakwa for Sukwache, Sami Jamfimu, no money pastry, no correct, and then you go knife. John Jina Pomo, no money a pastry, and no conscious woman ya padi a goon knife. What me aka womasem, only MPP for. No, but Sinaha can say MPP for Babemua, and then class as a boy. Na that people always sika enti musumon pesika na mcho ya kwaje sika astati adwuma pempema kuma wo mu hye Ghana Metro mo sa wanwafo abokoko abo sensuoi afidi ebeye west President Akufo do ne MPP nyansam no ebedru June July bi anu mabopa odo na papa Akufo adamroma ene what they say alajo na chief nipa so nyansa de ye osemi mami nua panyina djuma anye kwa ebedru suto bia na president Akufo Addo obopa na ye team do mama betena so no me Sodom and Gomorrah 2015 ejade nsuo edome wu ye 26 so abeto so ye can be down some and find your politics. Ye the back could dina actually them near to because more the tonium. And then I don't mama find your politics. What the same to acquire politics. What the ensure flood what the air politics. What the encania your politics. What the train choir politics. What the ensure I know your politics. What the galam say your politics. What the school journey your politics. What the school 419 what the your politics. Papa empty head and kwa what he will be as a clean one cabin. And they are born a numasam no. Some made the private no one wife war besoto and so flood away. And what he will be as a mostly I must say a canasama did not come. Papa way one not a future west our Ghana politics, Mr. John Mama. Now what the no one is a train is to us what's ya now what's the task force stand up Deputy Chief of Staff, Gilbert J, Meritan Brew, wow lawyer, what's Ahmed Ibrahim, what's Osman, what's Ted Ebi. Crawford now the flood that's a woman, Sabo Betina Bemu. 1 year chum, woman yans the Biansi flood, no, none run Pimpimagu, what's saying Yaku draw, I private jets. Him as Crawford, ya Jibia, now woman to the man. What did you say, woman said? Not woman and you. I
won't say, where's now, Mr. Why? What they mean, dear Matter? They can't. You're more
so be better said, maybe I do my so buy answer. When you be a fine, I attend the
Okaza green you with ma, I attend the
okay, woman, and the ending answer fine. Not a fit. Nani pewu no asase the same crofo ye gu private jet him ade na wiem say yenye wo mo dan na bi si say yenye wo mo dan enne galam say asama kwa me gre ne cho kan ye Dela Adam any ate no western region no Dela Adam wo mo si ya ma mu ntu na mu gu John Mama ni mu ase ene de mo ntimi meka ho asem Dela Adam akwa we pa peace and some will kafa wa galamse ho dwa mama de wa ba no e de ende so dwa mama e no asesa Ghana en sa ase nyina ama ne nua amenne ensu ayila fa ye wa be kasa me enfa anye politics hey Ghana ya wo
about who's in the yati Marcus Yenti or young Cranky Joe.
Oh, Valentine, good morning.
Morning, let us say. Bibi Abokopa, Yenti wanna pay.
Yo, Yakwabadi, and I going to follow us. I'm grateful. It be quite be a man, you are very grateful to life. Valentine.
Yeah.
The culture is Africa. I be a coffee. Wouldn't say Ghana, so I'm quite a cosu, or I'm saying Nigeria, and Ivory Coast. Valentine, that be agriculture. Yeah, you're talking. There is a solution to any problem. And I see any solutions, and then we don't just want to do it. And the way I can, okay, but not it to all. Let's say that we are dominating come by BSS, the BSS is in common. Firstly, far back, solution then you have to put in place. Nothing. Zero. Okay? Valentine, Opa institution here when you say, could see Ghana. So the attitude of the people are changing. Yeah, Valentine, come back here to for me to South London. Now, me place here, me compare 20 years ago. Then and then me cost shopping, and me cost now and then me pay ton amount of payment. So me just Oko Council, government didn't pay to you should buy. Valentine, be a copy and nobody, I like to be by your thing to Ghana or your video be about area or to Accra. Or since you're not toy and be out of area, and so back as you are because every week they go outside to distill the gutters. Now, some of the African can be very bad way. You're so foolish in my thinking. They say, well, Bastard boys in Babon in this started to take what the money are the company and Silverto, Obia and Cafe. Ghana, the Divia, Valentine Roma, one was the city of London, which you have been being London, so that.
Okay.
One Agrofi, one more time, what did you know? Not you pay for the crown. Or they should say you may not be at all to reform that. Now, the agribonny, and you'll be a human, or the Divia, what actually, or Fabi, when you fear, yes, it be me, I cannot be my father, at the time of being you have no share. Being the crown, no my best is on Valentine. One my best is on no Marco share, baby, Bassa. No country, and your attitude problem. Now, what's the solution to this? I know this in any people. They say the politics and you're so bad and evil that how we not take your mentality. I know they come Africa. When you get by your fair community, both parties, me after solution. And this MPP, independence, me especially, I don't want to try to go. What's any bit back off away? Yeah, no, sir. And this is a thing to us, or making a we need to go down to the educational system. Then for kindergarten for you train woman who said you're too big and to about it, and yes, I'm man, you provide it. All of that, that's how you produce your friends at Timber. Timber, they say, you're paying for no more, you need that problem or to Valentine. Papa, you come your friends say, bro, reading now the crew or a Indian or their friend about it, or you know.
I mean, kindly.
Oh, or here, in the crew, or yes, and control here the crew will be the glass or what you are going to be.
Yeah,
okay, if he shows his leadership, what can be done. So far, what I feel that is the leadership and mentality.
All right.
You know, so anyway, see, I'm changing the education of people. I cannot say civic education. They have a stake in this. They have to train the case and tell them, who did you as all being? Who found being as all the two baby that? Now, one more, I'm mobile corporate. The come on, I'm going to add it for my two. I have about 50 pounds. Yeah, punishing it.
All right, Uncle Joe, into your tongue, can't you?
Good morning.
Morning.
What to say?
Oh,
okay. Radio Diaspora. Last time, Papa be about radio issue. Now, or say a year friends, I'm saying channel doors. The man of respect, no much change for nine. Why?
Oh, I'm going to say a tradition, you know what you say.
Tradition, yeah, but very respecting them because I'm so a respectable person.
Okay.
Your friend is make sure your friend say Nana Kwame, Fred, and your friend me chrome such a people for Nana that man.
Okay.
Valentine, your friend say TV3 no omo bias towards MPP. By MPP for no more on board
okay.
Because as someone not Solomon also Ajata and near say now MPP for no can say World Bank for America. Say a friend say drainage, you know, yeah, prevent frauding. Emma, your secretary, your friend Dr. Kisi, John Kisi.
Okay.
Or the Najma or Yan will come hard frauding. Or the abroad put the edge. Your friend say Nana Kufado. Board department to be from hydrological department.
Okay.
Our Bepano Koto or Kotua no say a chief executive. It is World Bank's canon and Omu Yusua could see set a government no way a baby. The Krami Busan said now a over judge man and also said the government in
yeah.
Obviously also with that. So who would know how I would debate my way? And was a best MP for the crime premier. I'm sure. Okay. And not scanning the home. What he has a German supporter, honorable.
Yeah.
Every deal with the government says, has to come almost used to normal 5 years. And so, or mountain, I said, Dr. Ato Bolton, says, Scano, minimum or day. Which I said, let's say a year before you can. Now we'll let you know who host you know. Open so unnecessary questions. What's I say?
Okay.
Because on band and come to us, and can flood in Gamba. What's I say?
Okay.
Okay. The second issue is that a Zoom lie on one or more the contract and from 7. I didn't throw my contract. So, Muntria, a workers know, ye, the ameno, no more argument. Say, open track workers be a year. Because one a scale year, open motivation, be as no pay.
That's right.
But yeah, and you know, also more a friend say, Zoom lion.
Almost
oh, okay. And then good. But I mean that a vice president, former vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Baumi, I said now sympathizing with the flooded victim. Why? But I said,
all right. Yo, Joe, oh, we need you.
Shake the rock, Popo. Number 5 year, we are.
Okay, into one pay.
Oh, Emma may Emma may buy ama and it's your cry tatan. Or sooner also. Also, Mamma Ghana, son, or mine is your tatan. Mitia Ghana for in NPP and NDC for in 6 PP for in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah. One fraud now, of course, were Ghana. Maybe me the time. Solution is that they have to go back to the old foundation where Papa Kwame Nkrumah LA.
Okay.
Because we share pattern in drawing no here. No one say or done and it say teams a war London ha. So we share geographical map no Accra. Baby or done and not that design no old one no ya Papa Kwame Nkrumah here no.
Yeah, okay.
Nanka teams sit down say pepepe. Did they ever say if someone go back no one say one say ye take corona ye foundation ye say nsuunda ha sebi car kwanda ha ahanye popo hanye ye France park and say nyamasa no.
That's right.
Na mo am follow sa design as a foundation one nyama piece.
Okay.
Because otherwise no nanka odo na we say no you bet me use it craft for transportation. That was the idea, both better song from short distance to here, non-profit body, namasi, namukoni, nano bet me aboa transportation to say a train, and then that was the main design.
Okay.
They have to go back. Young penny for another say MPP, NDC, CPP. mpanimfo no nyinaa bɛtena ase na ɔmo go back. So ɔmo go back and share saa particular plan no a. And the me madwene mu deɛ every year bi a ɛbɛsi.
Okay.
Okay. Ana me second year no so say one say basta. Say tournament yeah of course World Cup so man fight free cry and ka omo cry no a ye defend plan no omo boy no one say team ni na use the same
England nana
England there
okay
one say teams ni na after I say use that particular type of defense play yeah they say omo fight free and ka this tournament no
what's the France for the defense
midfield ni strikers because omo were proper strikers omo nya ball no on be show
okay
but omo ni proper strikers ni na no hwe omo nyina no they are all playing 95% of them no are playing the same method that Blaster did by.
But any Colombia ko esa on be share nti ese yesu ye ko ewulusu awulusu
but say Colombia dey
ese who go forward o sha wa
she Suleiman Tali papa because omo born sa no am say ye
papa Suleiman Tali no the grown home players are almost started from the academy so that is the difference we mu wo mu ha bebre na wo mu amanone.
Yes.
Ono be bobo amanone ball no ba be bob because also son and nine obey we but one Asian now they were born and bred in Ghana all the players that accumulation no they were a transition of the players from under 17 under 20 under 23 to the Black Stars so that is the import into and that is why I have a problem with the FA because they know it into combo defense there it is like a storm in a teacup it doesn't bring any results. Yeah, that's the Nyamisha, Papa.
Okay. Nyamisha, yes, now. Don't try your mangana, my.
Yati, that's pa. Nini, let's hear you. Yeah.
With all due respect, David should minimize his greetings on the platform because he blocked other people from coming in. Please, with all due respect, minimize your greetings. If he's listening to me, you should minimize his greetings.
Who are you talking about? Software David.
David.
Oh, Software David.
Me, I don't know. Well, I don't know if
Pastor
he's
David.
Pastor, but
Pastor David.
I don't know if he's a pastor.
Oh, he's a pastor. Well, but don't get twisted with this one. These are some of the occupational hazards. Just because right now. The problem has come. Forget about greetings. Greetings, you can greet. You don't have a problem. So let's move on. Because I've said this several times that it has become a ritual for all of us that we have this dispensary as people sharing sentiment on all sort of things. So when you come and issues like this on the table, don't disregard it and let's move on quickly because you have something. You are in government. These are trivial. Let's move on.
Rather, this Zoom Lion issues they're talking about. Zoom Lion, they should find out the reason why we withdrew Zoom Lion's, contract, and I want to give it back to him again. Because look, I don't want to talk much about Zoom Lion, but can you believe that people are working for Zoom Lion, and some of them get about 300 Ghana cedis a month?
Yeah, so that one is an infringement. I understand your point. So when you abrogate a contract of such a nature, don't you think you need to get a replacement that will be more prominent than Zoom Lion? Why was it silent and the assemblies were not effective in all these exposures that we're having now? Because they couldn't do it.
The reason why, Valentine, I always come and I lay my issue, I lay my attacks. I point out accusing fingers on Minister of Local Government because it looks as if local government ministry is the only ministry now that is not doing their job properly. Because look at the gutters. The gutters need to be clean.
Okay.
But they look onto it. And these gutters have been there for 8 good years. Nobody spoke about it. But we say we'll do it. So once we are in power, we have to clean it. You see? So that's the reason I've been having a goal at the minister. I've been calling every time. Why are you doing? Because I don't think Zoom Lion is doing the is assigned for the gutters. I don't think it's part of his contract. I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not part of his contract.
Okay.
And the Valentine.
Yes, sir.
It's the policy that NPP talks about. NPP will bring a policy and they will spoil it. You know the reason why they spoil it? They collapse it with corruption. That is NPP for you. You see?
But you are in government for 1.5 years. Nobody has been apprehended or has been prosecuted for all these allegations. Don't you think it is like a maligning somebody without any shred of evidence? Don't you think so?
We say
keep saying that. And when they say he who seeks equity must come with clean hands, and he who alleges must prove. So if you are doing that, and it's just a flimsy of kind of incarceration to people's integrity, it is like you are trying to stampede on people's rights. Like, let me castigate him, let me malign him, let me scandalize him. Don't you think it is not something that is helping the society? Because me, for instance, when I want to accuse me, when I want to accuse you, when I want to accuse you of corruption, I have to have a probative evidence that will substantiate my allegations making against you, so that it will not be like, because defamation of character, it is a serious crime and it's a tort law. So when you defame somebody, it's an unjustifiable attack by creating injury on somebody. You people like to do that. Where are corruption? But we don't see any corruption. Don't you think it's just a mere slur on somebody? Please.
Evantine.
Yes, sir.
There is no institution in Ghana over the past 8 years that they will say they've never had a blue ink in their white in their
so that is why we need to prosecute them.
There is they emptied our pockets, emptied our saving, emptied everything. So we have to start afresh. So if they come and they say this, they say that, they are exposing themselves. Because what did you do for the 8 years?
Okay.
When the money was given to Sisila Dapa.
No, but you are in government. That's why I'm saying that when you make these allegations, Cecilia Dapa can sue you for defamation because you are making accusations that you don't have any shred of doubt or evidence. So that's why I'm saying that when you people do that, you are not helping matters. Because in one breath, you are talking about we should not politicize it. We should have a holistic approach to deal with this matter. Now you are going to bring Cecilia Dapa, whilst you know we don't have any evidence that Cecilia Dapa has stolen some money. Because you are in government. If she has stolen some money, go and take the money and then prosecute her.
Valentine, we'll come after these people.
Okay, it's been long overdue. It's been long overdue. And I don't trust you anymore.
We ask God, we ask God to grant us the confidence to confront every challenge.
If you are going to prosecute a person who has impregnated our public purse, and that person has stolen from us, you need God protection and guidance. Is that what you are telling me?
No, this
it is the institution they need to work. That's all.
They are, how do you call it? The irrelevant submissions on the platform.
Okay.
It's what I'm talking about. God should help them to, because we are in advanced countries, we have to advance ourselves, and we are in a period of learning to learn.
The center cannot hold. Is that what we are seeing? Because it seems there's something that is happening in your government, and there's a disconnect. Because what is happening? Is Bahama on track, or you don't think he's having some kind of discrepancies in his government? What is happening? Because I don't see.
If there is a problem going on, we are not like the NPP.
Okay.
We have internal affairs, and we know how to deal with our internal affairs.
I hear you. Anything you say with your submission or your permission is granted. I hear you, sir. I hear you. All right. Nini Sudiano, the yenda nasi. Obusufo yenti oneyanko.
Yo Valentine, me that say. Mame encha na mincha with you for na. Me Kwame Greenwich, me share a solution. Me no share solution be about. Me say, yeah. Also say, Obaya bana or share say so swan. You just mute the stream and I say radio and I say the volume the kofema. Inti. Me say when you share say happen, I'm mute no. Inti for some few seconds no na fe. my nafi. I'm just sharing that solution with. So me say me ba me bompire na if you muso person with here. The same solution goes to you.
Almost say umpire na obo. Almost say umpire na obo. No obo pena papa na nya problem. Inti jai. I don't know mo ka man cast me bompire. So mba the obo with my what say na nanom na.
Say na make say.
I don't know mo ka.
So ka say umpire me bo na e dia to reach mo bana. Who say bi kwame some last na kwame ka say na ahonho no tinsu mu na. Yes saying so and all that.
No be so.
Kwame, this is one of the consequences of revenge. This is one of the revenge. Aboson a revenge.
Sir.
Because what the idea be seen in Sumanani Kwimana say you are distracting in Insua. This kind of things can happen. It's part. It could be a spiritual revenge. Okay, Menkazen yes, it's it like that. But they are there for us. And no, opa tunsuoni mo akosinso na se emfa ne ho. Well, and that is why I think is that we are misunderstanding the purpose of the deities within our lands. We are totally and I don't blame them because
but also for in your submission previously, you made us understand say your prayers and your guidance and protection, it should be a positive sign for John Mahama's government. Now that you are telling me with all these problems, Abba, now you are portioning blame on whoever throw bean or whatever into the gutters. Now a chokono. Are you telling me, say, and no, the deity, have realized, say, this is an abomination. So there's a punishment and there's a repercussion on that. Is that what you are telling us?
And I'm saying it could be possible, but I'm not attributing what happened to it.
Okay,
but it could be a possible.
Okay.
But the prayers, they don't listen to my prayers. The prayers for the president
you kept praying.
The deities should protect him from distraction, from the enemies. Say, then it comes with the other consequences.
Okay.
Mahama has not been affected directly and now say to arrange any risk or danger or tragedy has happened to John Dramani Mahama. Neither is it having any challenges. These are natural disasters.
Listen. Let us not dilute the discussion we're having. He is the prime minister superintending the citizenry. So if you are telling me he is not facing any problem, and he has not faced any problem, it does not mean that he is being elusive. The responsibility, the responsibility lies on him. The way we are speaking, you just want to remove the president from all what is happening. The point is that Bibia Basubiano, it is on his doorstep. Let us not twist the matter as if
everybody's responsibility.
So he's the president. He is taking the taxpayers' money. This thing, natural disaster, is part of the constitutional provisions.
It's part of nature, and he has the mandate to
discuss the issue with the holistic approach. Don't do it as if the president and Antono, and I say Atono because I say or mine, or mine no say or no president or that's what you need to ask yourself.
But Valentine, Unim so said nobody is going to hold him accountable for
no, it's not about we are not saying that we'll be holding so because what you are saying is as you said. When you say that now, listen, when you speak that now, it is a mischief approach. You are trying to be mischievous on people's plight. People have gone through a trauma. And you come to sympathize with the people. You are rather insulting their intelligence. That's what you are doing.
Who is insulting? Valentine,
you are telling me that the president is not
misinterpreting. You are misdirecting.
I'm quoting you verbatim because what you are doing is you are trying to be disingenuous. You said that.
How can I say I'm insulting people? Yesterday I came on this show. I sympathized with the victims. And I also lauded the authorities for rescuing the people.
You are trying to disrespect everybody because they are all can say. President, and fun who no person uche.
I'm telling you, sir, he is not directly affected.
No, you don't speak that way. He is the president of the republic. That is why
you are asking me to interpret the prayers I pray for the president. And I'm just telling you, sir, my prayers go for... We have a sitting president who has died in power.
We are not talking about prayers. We are talking about a natural disaster that
so
was
how
occurred.
could you give the impression say I'm insensitive to the plight of the victims?
But if you
sympathize with the victims, how could you say all of a sudden
how are you taking the president out of this situation? How are you taking the president out of this situation? Who is responsible?
It is everybody's responsibility.
No, it's not everybody. You don't pay me tax. Listen. You don't pay taxes to me. I'm here to criticize and put things in order. You are here to criticize and put things in order. Don't be an appendage to the person who's responsible for our plight and tell me, say, he should be given that
but I
immunity.
Haven't said, he should ignore the victims.
That is the relative approach. That is the relative approach.
I haven't said that, Valentine. I haven't said that.
Let end it.
Let me quickly. I haven't even made my submission.
Because this was submission, no, I find it very, very, very disgusting because it's not helping.
No, I didn't even. This one was just.
Four people. You come and stand here and tell me, say, President don't affect you know. When I say favor,
I'm say one team as I'm say one team. What I mean by directly affected. No. And I want him as. Who can say? People say that I keep praying for him and all this.
No, and only yaka. But me try to say responsibility. Our honor. See, president no. Unim asu di edano so. Do you know the?
Yeah, you are in a cry. Asu di because the car yedi kufi ni na. Mu no meji di aye den. There the restructuring and the recovery no. You're president in you're gonna need be.
No, but the president is the ultimate. At any time, when you are making your references, put the president first because he is the gentleman of the land. If we don't have a president, it's different. That one we can do it and do it ourselves.
But Valentine, let me quickly about me.
Quickly, now
or partisan waypoints. On what protocol is he going around doing those things?
Why?
Is it part of Dr. Bawumia?
He's the former vice president. He's a candidate. He can go around. What is wrong with that?
So he's going around and getting the protection of the state. He shouldn't be doing that.
He said the president should help the people. And on the contrary,
just a quick reminder.
Because the way you are being political, what you are saying, you are trying to be disingenuous. I'm disappointed in what you are doing today.
No, I'm being political. No. I'm political. And
okay, so when somebody is doing politics, don't talk about it.
No, they shouldn't do partisan politics.
Everybody
should do politics.
Don't waste time for the radio, please. Don't waste time. Yeah, that's it. Lee Yentio Neanko. Now, for the Udine job. Yanko. Efoli Yentio Neanko. Efoli Yentio. Yentio Neanko. Na my emotion time
yo Valentine mami nchawa no pe na minchia madam Elana and yanu abekasa na I was always on for one person you have shot yourself in the foot because the president is not directly affected over what you say. Well, we understand you because the president can never be directly affected because who don't go communicate to the chef for one can be directly affected. And one application in union, and how many money in union? What to a memo? Now, one can call for a point of Kwama, one of the refugees, Yantu and only Catania. And you know, we ain't much ado about nothing. Put the top of one in the viewing at your career. Well, I'm correct. The new purpose about 40,000 I display in the other. And then I go amount. What were 300 million here in French money again? Like, I wouldn't say 3 million. Over to their support, not over to their incident here happening. There's a more to hold my dear, more bench of Bonimra, number like they move from hungry, English, and one on the way over you know, just down. And then I would committee, would it Marita Brew, a national security officer, not with any stand up in a quiet head. We spread square pecking rambles. I hear who creating. I find bank well bank to be kappa. I'm a 200 million city hosts here. No one can report bank well bank report on the only the delayance of after forcing cost it because who could you get on family and not and obviously on your spend you are two is forcing or two is forcing. And also, I'm going to say, about Bonnie, who could hear us and could we a show Debi a wo de me jasheshe means for bank of unko how can we survive? How can we allow all these things to happen? How? No Jahono will with your when you walk back and walk and get near politics. Now okay for the in so Apodisica or World Bank in so on this road to dream is really at a gathered me. I don't know. That was all checked. Now was all checked. In so plan talk out put really no as a Kufado or Memo in so talk. Such a person like you, and you are rather coming over here to tell us that me and Penya politics. The leader need the only son no I've been Papa with Zimbaonia. Oh no, we are saying when was some of the kind. And so one no Domahama at all, there's some of the kind. I would say anything you know, on one. Me and whom you can system, any near almost nothing waffle. Oh, anyone you do all of this is a national issue. It's a flat. Now, one more time when you see it, there's some of the kind. Then never be down on the cat at the top of window review. Who is a one? What an Acroma and I'll review one of them. Is that your first time that you come into power? What better could you know? 6 years spent. And I won't now, so you when you see. One point did you have a class for driving near Papa, no just with you. When you go from so far, they say you are the first one is soon about second one or the Janaba. What you won't want president, you have to move our head. The judge is why I come home. And then if more catastrophe, if I 22 no greater Accra, if I say 18, it was Central Region, 14, it was Western Region. Why? Now the independent world when you get. Nipa no mu wa and we need because one of we knew nyama mo dia ahihya asase no ma form hono and no man ya timu who left who right who ton ayanto and na no ase to nkanye mu nyade kanye nso nyama kyerɛ sɛ to nkanye mu de be kakre di bia no and nso no agbi na be ba form and so mo to nkanye mu to nso nso so mo to ma ye nyansuo nkanye nso a ye nyansi ye tuaka we ni be you wouldn't generally will be people because of phony. And also, no more kind of open. Well, you are out to our Katakate. You have associated yourself with NDC. What kind of thing? What kind of thing? I had that way out there or program.
Spend. That's it. Mrs. Spend, and the Wednesday over Basona Baba, no, and I. Choba over friend until we do. Then friendly atmosphere. Don't have issues with anybody, please. Oba, oh, Chawagi, no such an one. Why? That's it. I really. Nana, ain't you near Commissioner Bow?
Okay, we want to tell me that our son of him, Michon Webusha. Michiami Wafapa, the scholar, the chief letter writer, sisters, Michiami, mi bumi mwase mamo, Ebusafoni ni Michiama na pi, ubia oti Michia, Oba, we are very good, you are so blessed, Yamin Koswa Inshawa Sifo, we gifts no, Enko Mba no, Nana to 1,000 generations, we are family that's why are dear. Of any day, Adena Baumia Ghanaian Asama for victims of the flood. I am Bia Obi and Obi Yesi Obi who kinds of monk was Obiana. Obi was of course Obia. More NDC from we are incompetent. And I know ye competent president Nana Ewa Bim. I'll put in mind. But COVID buyer, Mama got a COVID response. What was about Yawayebi? Or your competent year, Yansa come and money. What was Yawayebi? Or Yabi, or who finds up a caucus will be. Now, Moses saying, yes, to me, hold nobody can hold the president accountable. Excuse us. What are you talking about? I also hear to Obama at the taxpayers' money, Shanika, gold, at the channel, so Omeme then. Then send who ye fana said, excuse us, your politics. I am among the Casa rough of Samamu, the CC, buffoon. And I make a Samson. The indisciplined government official, one, or bar power, ono ababe cancel sanitation ministry so they are my local government. TDC wani TMA council cra. Buko group omwenim happen me say Valentine. I out there Google na share TDC for building is say atena NPP for president na no nyamfo JB dan kwasini ebe ye TDC we sisi dani bia kan wa ye fe omwenim ho na Portos educate secondary school. Hey, what way ya oka say. Else local government move SM at the secondary school making sure the secondary school for many who near my phone in a matter of time because a example na mon seti ache golano musi adiano. My yenim one ya way more na sanitation as on President Nana who said, bomb home boarding. All the councils, Ebimokrana Fels I started Yamom district assembly. So Timoni Adenia. Intino or started to change Manuma Kitty, Tanya Beya, Obia, ye bet to me. I started to say, ye, Boaboy, yes, ye gaining knowledge, near their boy, yet they develop here, man. Who buy programs for agriculture now? What they training and there you who ripple effect our farmers struggle. What friendly day social cohesion initiative we came rule of law. What about the creating a judicial crisis? What was that I mentioned? Who buy medical hub initiative by health sector? What became? It's an initiatives are development. Well, bet you ripple effect. Now, maybe this is common entrance fund. Men who be a class and mean, what Friday day, a piano back catch him say, say, yes. Because farmers need their new crop chairman and a sanitation need crowd so chairman. So, obey sanitation ministry, Nadian, Nina, ripple effect abandon. Share President Nana or what be money MPP what be moon. Or see a year of any dog could do my close to Chevy. Who we see a fire service training center. A Hona could see a bit of a helicopter training near Dania. Who buy any Samahama? We a training center no. Of was said a provision for a helicopter training near there. Who buy an anchor of Oya buy a who back to us. Amma yako yenim unim long Senate governors who are competent and come by now what to helicopter beye and here my say training send a at a ranch NBC or minima okay then ye bet to me resources ya the best one okay and see and at a ranch MC and bomb helicopter wouldn't rim wa bra or the share run send now on for now on see for now more NDC for more who house yes me the manu sin me catch Mr. Mahama say na would you go near box and near bibia ma wunyam fa ye fini and so near house so transfer no so fama wunyam and me catch account for say account for more mama can sem wunyam to see and me catch am say I'm a Nigerians na air to gold no a reclaiming of the land in any BM who cannot question Mr. Mahama Nina buying our incompetent almost Simon Sarsina a Kakran near Bessino move Central region cry I yes to crack and so say and that's a part no vision baby it would make catch your mom sorry no mom I ban you who say send no all your masasino and who say no how na bebrese ebabamo so musu na mbese amodiani so mudiasa mu baby amudi fe I'm answer me that say say boy enti o na for last call na yampon
me mo no ma mi ensaso didi kai ye mu bi ye hia samrani bia the president between the voice or use the word New Accra City be so biate or say New Accra City on kan Ukraine so on kan Ukraine city prekom say ye move capital no eno no
Uncle Nukran, me will be, yes, shall see and plan a life outside Accra, please. There will be no, just answer, the Akosono, yes, the whole country. And sure to talk, using your backup, please. Answering your baku for Mukazim Kwan answer, the Benye Mukazi answer. Now, the point is, Amandia go through the exchange. Itimutie, if it not go through tsunami, the whole country turn upside down. Itimutie answer. The edit maybe the first time at Ghana, ye call or ha kisim. Yenya oil from. You could be United Nations. Sorry, you could be international court. Countries being echo supplement than a war, meaning it turns into war. Nemo, Yende Yamiasi says, I come or how no buy no, and Rabbit is antimatter can't be disappearing quarter, Memonano. Nemo Yende Yamiasi says, I am no, or my audition is a Kofiana or United Nations.
Okay.
If the reason on your fair be geopolitics, and yet you when you just undertake. Miankasa basi na minim de tia meti say United Nations adon ABL wo so banta obagie de set bedan mechi isa se na mista me hu wiase na mista ti bedan mechi etino de adru no enye mukazi answer one de move capital no two tsunami na de see other countries no answer no was regional Ghana your regional ayini ECOWAS because they make international treaties. Okay. It's there under a man-made official and an international treaty. And you will be Mukazin Kwa answer. You move in your Accra, you say, Accra Prime, you say. Because the Munipa, 110, Midimanian drawing board no. A two let's see for they forget about. You have to move the capital and one no.
Okay.
No here consultancy, you move in, you have the price of the Kosibu need the Bama consultancy. Pass it through a very mouth. About have the price.
Okay. Yati, Yadasi. I am step one again. Hello.
Hello, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
go into you.
Me MPP for the makers actually. Yes, sir, Enra, Bomia, and then crop for Mudam Atichenu and a Epa or Echo Aircats and Papa Chero. President Mama, why they were two Ukraine names so.
Under a president, indeed. What you mean?
A president and NPP, Nana Adu, Nankaya, the same and these war communicators become. As some to be a binu Sikaga or the other president, and all show. Second, not the Koya win and Casimartin and these communicators in Casembe Rombeka.
Okay.
Before, to say, yes, so low, and this.
Now, then, no person here. Then, no person before. I didn't go, Then, no person here. What do you want them to do?
Say, almost
so. Say, I didn't go to you. Baby, I have politics. I want to. And yet, it bufu BCCR. You see, I am not ban. Me in treating because I mean, no sergeant go over down with Ghana. Oh, I over down with Ghana. We bush on Ghana. Now, I am not ban. And this before the Omaye Nano, it didn't put anything on the table. The Omaye was just a sycophancy and trying to play mischief and politics. We understand. Now, this is not the time to retaliate. Maybe you do know. Any braba, let's talk about the issue holistic approach. But the point is that baby you do know, we are all getting affected. Initially, when there was a previous administration, the effect came, but it wasn't a vast effect. It said the year we let us address the issue. When politics come in, you do politics because you say, "Oh no, one no mtia bem. Bibi no mbe to my ebium." Apart from say, "Waba power." Ha, anti. The answer, oh no. Any answer, who so omobeye. And I make a trouble so for no. So I just say president, you know, and fan no affecting. And I'm catching say that what he's doing is mischief. I put him the right way. No. I know that yes, let's put them in check and make sure they will do the right thing. And one say, and one I think one line on the amount. Ntokwa bi enim why ntokwa bi enim
Mate pa. Ba MPP for na make us actually on your politics.
Yati. Na cha wo MPP na then I don't find for no bid.
No, me can Ghana e come out see can. No, okay. Ba o mo ba to do say. And you say come out to communicators and put the whole Ghana and go
where to communicators go cry because we cry we communicator no you could be affected. I know. Emfa matter the emphasis. My matter emfa na enwe. E time na so.
Hey.
My matter. Yente o na ko hu ya.
Mo ye pa.
Emfa hu na ye time na so.
Yo mana obaya o se meti dan to mark Tarek.
Kwekwa kana ono na tinti na frɛ ya na.
Yeah, only tin am afraid.
Okay, now the kwekwa kana na kwekwa ka
no,
to o wu da.
Number from man.
Wana Mr. Abua.
Yeah, by Mr. Abua.
Mr. Abua.
Until the Kinkakwa could be. Natam International Court in Ghana Best Avru Coast Oil. Nambi said, the one no ye documents of Ghana. The whole Ghana, one no ye. About the second.
Okay. Take Kinkakwa on us and watch it into your only.
Man, or I can to family, a feminist. Let me history of when I say Ghana for ye, ma. Don't you think that Kwame Komata was to know?
Mamata, in so at all, man, go for watching on Kwaka.
Mr. Mabaya soon, Miss the same thing.
And under by
things are powerful. I can't afford now what restriction will fear.
I was some ways, you know, until I'm in Pede. I
can't work a crack. I found out what restriction if you know what's a messing. Okay, phone soon, where you may draw up. Listen, Madame Husu.
I was some ways, you know, man, find Yago.
Yeah, Madame Husu, never bacano. I said, we could him the me prime, Mammy Afro, and Muko school. Now cry sometimes over the man who there was a boat. Was you crossing Crawford? Number was Bayer Castrea and a Mendoza one was the boat.
Okay.
Was the crossing Crawford, not a dozen or what a dada. But a bit kind of because of that, a beer, Ole plan into one back to the plan now,
okay.
One can.
Yeah,
now, because that they had the name of the president, only Ghana.
This is to President Mahama for. What would be your advice?
Now, President Mahama no fought in the why is dead. Ejima wo prom kase pa only cleaning.
Only cleaning.
The cleaning is the first class industry on the whole country. Next, abolish the cleaning work like
Zoom lion na. Zoom lion.
Zoom lion na. Zoom lion na. And I said the final pedobe room.
Well, okay.
No, why you way before so?
What today or sound one about?
What I know what to bolugu. I'm a matter photos in a me
because the mamata there, the law enforcement no say ochini becoming in Ghana for obi court 1, 2, 3 no one charge and a woman custodial sentence and a woman bonder. Them nipano. I don't think the next time obi throw dust into the river and I see and I there.
Say one papa and find the sisters and any basis. London was west.
Of course.
But them have been so back and there. Even Tibra. Or today, Hekaro Kwanam Futruna, or the paper in a East London, but if you're my and a change, development continues. Nakan by the first one, and I say, I'm Peda Yakob back to the beginning. Now, Aruba, a 10, a tenner. How can you develop and know the mistake and wrong?
Okay. Oh, yeah,
but there be messages all quano. Also, Mary Madame Mamonsu, the Holy Spirit will come. And some for Yakan, some myself, Boavran Baga, or tell a Boafon of Baba come home. You tell me, Debbie, I'm in your Boafon. You mention Mukun a David.
Okay.
Oh, no. You have one account.
A joint account now.
Joint account.
Joint account now. How the Abraham Ama Aqua David Wanti.
Yeah, Miss Commission and Sen of Prayer.
I'm that's it.
Me fancy her.
Okay, that's it. Yamishra. Parago, yam for me. 2 minutes, yam pong.
Monsieur MPP Funya.
Obia Jodo. Yeah, me Jodo.
I called her before Mama Tano. And when the last time we know Tano. When I tell the time that you carry our Ghana. Rollins, and the way of communal labor, Rollins off a shovel. And I need to.
Yeah, now or a part of it.
That is it. It's American or okay to the mass under there. Mama, this is not the time out of a helicopter kind of number two.
Oh, okay.
No one would also don't watch me.
Was who do want Jimby? Okay, that was it. That was it.
You know,
all right.
That man, he's right.
Okay.
Another thing I can't with Mama Tanzania there. So go on, I say, I'm going to say, I
Yeah. Already, I saw different will go up on the Mendada.
I'm a day, I want to be yesterday when I'm the Babu.
Oh, okay.
The first one, watch one you call. Is it that when you call BNI for 2 weeks? Police station was about 2 days. Makada for another 1 week.
Okay.
Court because I bond there, me here for 1 year.
Yeah.
And you know, Mr. Kotaka, the following week, and my first ship is the France.
And what you are, and how they ever serve a concurrent sentence, ever serve 2 terms. But one two into now for wedding. And what he did was, Parago, what he did was a crime. You could have been prosecuted for that.
My parliamentary, after dinner, Obiwa, excuse me, at the son of Kra, or Obanyegu. It's young. Ghana, it's in Ethiopia, so that was the time of day. On the bad side or on the good side.
Okay.
It's young.
Our third you boy.
I'm a third
so one do. And now I was simply everybody. That must line in anybody. All right. I'll go here and see. All right. Last caller, I will Ghana. Maminti, na mama. Hello.
Hello.
Mbajowani.
Ebacho mabna new.
Mabna na. Osha Ghana.
Dear, we were Manchester.
Oh, Manchester. You mabna yen phone we. Me who so wabrem yen phone we.
I'm a bepa my frate. Be ma mene madu. Na, meden chaketi ya mana no pay.
Okay.
Bepa cho. And I'm the ma me saka ma me tiem. Na asama me pes mo ken am pesa me kabi. Hwe ye kasa nsuo a eziri afa Ghana for this time ye kasa won. Enye fe di agro. Enye fe di agro. Fisi e wo me ma me ba asase so me fa mani hu di esi. Kankan ene na za die ye omu oye hwe wo social media no. Me fa mani hu bi da. It is asemusi na ye ka. E wo se ye ka na ye kama emu da ho. Na ye hu emusuo a yakwakofa beto ye ho so asoman. Efisa nya ade bia na ya esikwo ana enye bibia so ne ka se o o ma ya tutu ball egu ne de ya tutu ball egu eni o ma ni ma ye fin a ya ka no. What is the solution?
Okay.
Ama fensus e was a Ghana for the nice form na ye bisa questions titru ye ma panyi osisi because watsuna you can say when watsuna Parliament House from Kodoshe abedi president or by a vice as abedi akwa bas abedi president na ye be hu fra de say ya ye hu bi da wo wiasima ye hu bi da wo Ghana ha na oba be kase sase mo yen kan boko anase ye me kase ye fin bi na obetena so no we hu okoba ya na no dendende si enfama no no meye no ne betimi aye ya wo bi ti so wo bu ne man 8 years ye hu sa de we bi ye hu bio fly the crab by ya enkunku konhwe social media so video ni enyan ebi wo ni e man kola so free nsuom adan da ben ye hu bi se wo Ghana na de wakwa ba ni ntimi me yehwe ya na ye ka ne dodo ho we ye nka no do ho ye ka na ni bre so
okay
ye kro bia so anka ye tintosu kokko pa atra ban efise de esi no enye kwa ye ma ne nkokwa nso ye ma ne nkokwa nti Ghana ne wo ye ne mu pa Ghana wo ye ne
okay
Ghana wo ye ne na me fa so go ni mo bia se Ghana fo atena se asa akofa sa party bonsam ya besi so na de no go se sie no
o kan bonsam dia o kan bonsam dia o nya bonsam o ye party bia de o ye na wo mpe nti wo de address them as a party on say radio su kasa no wo kasa fine you are okay now you are making it but on say kasa bi wo asanya wo si e wo wutiri ma obeka no enye sa kasa no obeka sa radio so nti e be so onya platform na wo de kansem no party no e bi omuntumi ye na makọ form abani ade ba wo kasa o me bonsam
na so wo ye felua
o ye so bi ye felua to onya bonsam obi ye felua onya bonsam o ye felua nti eno anso be point so ye felua that's all eno ano we tokwa bi eni
so ala dia ma eye me ya bro so na ye se flood we ye si me bi etwem no ye papa ye osisi wa fa anya politics
okay
wa fa anya
na see ade baby atra ye politics politics in ye but the point is baby atra no and why na wo make you statement say baby a ekọ no afi ni ya enyan nti wo de ko politics dey gina fa ko nti na ye ka say ye nhwe because kan no na ntisa na si atra nti ye ne de yin
medasi so wo mi aka se kan na ntisa mo ne kasa wo eti na ntisa ye de ne ani na ya bro
nti na ye say na ye kan na ban no
wo me ya bro so okwa ka Ghana fo bi no mo nim se ye pede nani ade ye pede ani ade ne ade kwan
yati
eni ade ne ade kwan
o ni ade ne che mfem bu ma ne de
ye pede oba be ye Ghana ye mpe buga ye pede odwin no wo nyansa ode adwin na eba betoto wa solve situation na ye wo no efi se die esi nyina ne nipa na ye hwero mo
yati
nipa na ye hwero mo
yadasi why yadasi pa enu aba no so de no nti ema emuso
Jehovah Adonai, you are my everything. Oh Lord, you are conqueror, the greatest God of heaven.